You're listening to littlepodcast.com.
Why you gotta take it there?
Retake. This isn't good.
We're not talking about any integrity in
We
this
are
room.
trying to exploit a generation.
Did I ever tell you about that time when I paid for Chinese food with the DVD? The grease is the gravy.
You guys played footsie under the table.
Yes, but that's irrelevant. I can smell Pepto-Bismol from here. It tastes like an antacid tablet. Why are there so many Draculas everywhere? No, there's vampires everywhere. Welcome to Born in the 80s, episode 170. I'm your host, John Rowe, joined by my co-host,
Adam Ham.
that's right, Eagle Eyes One Take himself.
That's right.
How's the week been?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Nothing too crazy. It's gone by kind of quick, actually.
Yeah. I had a pretty quick week as well.
Yeah, cool.
I just want to get right out on the gate on this. I know
Yeah.
everyone's been wondering, but there's a Computergate 2015 update.
Yeah.
I've got an update to the update.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm interested. I'm in.
Okay. So, like, this kind of been like a weird curve on how much I've disliked Madison Geeks. Now I've gone back to liking them
Yeah.
because the situation is completely fucked up.
Yeah, it really seems that way.
100% their fault at this point. Because they've installed two motherboards. One of them they got was busted. Sent that back. This one they got seemed to be working, right? Mm-hmm. Put in the new video card that was sent. Mm-hmm. Not the one that, not even the same brand I had, because they didn't have any of those at the manufacturer.
Right.
I had the warranty through, so they're like, we'll get you an equivalent card. And the card I looked at was like the exact same card. Just it's the R9, so it's slightly... And they're like, oh, it's working. This will be great. Oh, but your hard drive died. And I was like, yeah, it was on its last legs. I bought this external and I transferred everything because I knew it was going to die.
Yeah.
But apparently that also was under warranty still. I guess I
Oh.
got that... I feel like it couldn't have been under warranty. Because I think that was out of my old computer. So that's like a 6-year-old hard drive. But whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care. If they put me a new hard drive in there for me, I'll deal with it. But, I don't know. It seemed pretty cool. They said that so they told me how much I was going to get billed.
Yeah.
Not a price, but hours of labor. Mm-hmm. It was 2. So that seems fair.
It does seem fair, yeah.
Yep. So they're being fair. And the diagnostic fee, of course, which is like $50 or whatever the hell.
Right.
Which definitely deserves it in this case, because it probably took them like hours to diagnose this thing.
Yeah.
Not to mention like 2 months.
Yeah.
But so the video card, they're like, it's still working fine. And then they're like, oh, okay, we're running some stress tests and we'll check it tomorrow. And they're like, yeah, the artifacting's still happening. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And they're like, yeah, we got to discuss options. So I called him on the phone, got a hold of the guy, and he was really like jazzed about it. He
Yeah.
was like, I really want to get this back to you. And it's getting to the point of ridiculousness.
Yeah.
Because they just keep sending us broken parts. We get that broken motherboard. This one seems fine. So they grabbed a tester video card, and he put it in there, and he's had it running, and it seems to be running good with the tester video card.
Okay.
And they're going to run, I guess, just leave it running over the weekend, just to make sure it's not fucking up.
Yeah.
You know? And he's optimistic. And so at that point, it's just the video card now is still the problem. Because he said the one that they got, were like, it's running hot at idle, which is not a good
yeah.
sign,
No, that's
which
not a
means
good
it's
sign.
probably broken. Which means that they sent me a broken card. He sent me photos. The tech sent me photos of the card they sent. And it looks brand fucking new. But it
Yeah.
is obviously not, because it doesn't fucking work. So it's kind of messed up. So
So is this the same brand as the other card you had?
80, yeah, ATI.
Oh, they're both ATI. Okay.
Yeah, Radeon R9 something something 3 gigs. It's like the exact same specs, same clock speed, same video RAM,
Yeah.
exact same. Just a newer model because they don't make the older one anymore. Because this is like the cheaper version,
Yeah.
but it's
I was
the
gonna
same
say,
power.
I used Radeons for a long time. I switched to NVIDIA with my latest build. And I really
I have
like the
never
NVIDIA.
had a computer with an NVIDIA video card.
I didn't until recently, and I like it. But I will say, I've never really had any problems with either of them. I didn't have any problems with the Radeons. I like the NVIDIA's software better.
Catalyst
but-
Control Center, baby.
Nah.
Yeah, it's shitty.
It's shitty.
Which makes sense. So they're just working on that. So, I mean, worst case scenario, they're just going to have to get another video card sent out. So it could be another couple weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Whatever. They're making progress. That's important. That's what I told them. I was like, I just need to know that it's getting done.
Right.
Like, keep in contact. And they're like, yeah. So, they get this done. No harm, no foul. It took them way too long, but I knew it was bad. They probably could have cut this by a month.
Right.
But maybe not. I mean, fucking Christ. They've gotten 2 RMAs for each thing at this point.
Right.
So hopefully they'll give me a good card, and it'll be good. And then I'll just say, we're done. And it'll be probably like $300, probably less, for 2 hours and diagnostics. So that's not too bad. They said they put the hard drive in for me for free. They're like, we're not going to charge you for that labor. I mean, let's just plug it in.
Yeah. That takes like
just
5
because it's
minutes
been
anyway.
taking so long. They're like, don't bother.
Yeah.
I was like, I could put it in. They're like, no, we'll just do it. We want this thing to work. So there we go. They do. They're. I think they just kind of had it on the back burner for a while. We're like, we'll get the parts in. It'll be fine. And now that's not working. They seem to be working out pretty hard. So whatever. It'll get done. I'm glad. I was at a very low point when I messaged you, Adam.
Yeah.
So like, we need to discuss options, and the options were just like, it sounded like maybe they figured out something because he was like, hey, I'm going to put in a different video card, and we'll try that. And it seems like to be stable with the site, with their like test video card they have there. So
yeah,
something wrong with that R9 that they sent out. So I mean, these are RMAs, so these are probably factory refurbs,
right?
That had been sent in broken from other people, and obviously this one didn't get fixed. So whatever. Mm-hmm. But my tech's going. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Cool.
It's all good.
At least some progress is being made. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's just wanted to get the update. They're working diligently. You know what I mean? They're just like they're working on it, and that's good. It's just a clusterfuck.
Definitely.
So
yeah.
And then so I emailed the Cyber Power PC support.
Yeah.
Right, and I was just like, hey, this is still messed up. The techs are having trouble with it, and they're like, try taking the water cooler off. Maybe it's the CPU. And it's like, God, no. I'm like, this is why I didn't send it to you, because every time I emailed them, they weren't very helpful. They're like, I sent this big, long email describing the issues, and they're like, well, sounds like you need a new video card. And I was like, well, that is not the response of support that I wanted. And with Cyber Power PC, you have 3-year warranty, and then they do free labor on it.
Yeah.
And the parts, if they're under warranty, are still free. So presumably you ship it out there, it's free for them to fix it and send it back. Mm-hmm. Except for that you pay for shipping.
Right.
And shipping a heavy-ass fucking computer costs probably $150 with the fucking insurance that you'll want on it.
Right.
That's not cool.
No.
And I didn't want to do that because I was like, I'll probably pay that much just to have someone here fix it.
Yeah.
Because all the parts are under warranty. So I emailed them and was like, well, can I send this to you if they can't fix it? And what do you guess their response was?
They'll need to ship it?
Nope.
I don't know.
We can't take it now. You had someone else work on it.
Really?
Uh-huh.
That avoids the...
I guess. I don't know if it does. I didn't read the fucking fine print of their warranty. I doubt that's in there because, literally, this computer repair shop is just doing the RMAs that they would do.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're not, you know what I mean?
It's kind of weird, though,
Would I void the warranty if I worked on it myself? You know what I mean?
Maybe.
I don't think so.
Well, a lot of those places, they'll say, we'll do it, or you have to you have to send it to us, or you have to send it to, one of our certified...
Oh, they don't have that.
Whatevers.
It's just send it to us.
Yeah, they might actually have something like that, where if you do work on it outside of us, what is the warranty? Some places do. I mean...
Well, so the moral of the story is don't fucking buy a computer from Cyber Power PC.
Yeah.
It was not worth it.
Yeah.
I got a great deal. My computer is $1,500 for bomb-ass tower, water-cooled, RAM, 16 gigs RAM, Windows 8. What else was on there? 128 gig SSD.
Yeah.
The video card that was $500 when I bought it. It was
right.
A free upgrade from the lower model, so it was I got like the highest bleeding edge computer for $1,500, and I got a free fucking sick ass keyboard. Yeah. This Cherry MX mechanical that you can hear me. I would type keys, but I'm afraid I'd crash Google Hangouts. You hear the clickety clacky, but you've heard it in the podcast. My clicky clacky,
definitely.
And that is a good deal. And I got a gaming mouse and a headset. So like they had all these accoutrements that were cool, but buy a fucking computer from Alienware or Dell or something, or another, or like Falcon Northwest or any of those like super reputable ones first. Yeah. Because the guy at the Madison Geek said, yeah, we see these CyberPower or iBuyPower machines in all the time. They're always broken. And I was like, God. Well, Eric had bought one and had it for a year, and it was good. And so I was like, oh, this seems safe. Yeah. They have a good deal. I had free shipping.
I wouldn't say it's necessarily like it's going to break, but it's just you're gambling. I mean, more so than with
like if I were to buy a Dell one with all that power, it probably would have cost about the same, if not slightly more, but I would have gotten like all these extra things for free, you know? And so, I mean, I have a working computer now, so I can't really complain. I just can't play PC games, really. I actually played a couple games on this, and actually, surprisingly, as shitty as it is, it still runs games pretty well. Yeah. As long as they're like pre-2012. Right. Like anything before 2012 runs smooth. But yeah, so this, not an ideal situation, so don't fucking buy anything from them. And their customer service was like, hey, we can't do anything. And I emailed back and I was like, well, I didn't want to send it out to you because your shipping costs are exorbitant, and I didn't even know if you guys would be able to fix it. And I've heard horrendous tales of people sending them out and then getting it back and it still being broken. Yeah. And I don't want to deal with mailing something cross-country to California and to get it back and it still be fucking busted and be out SOL, basically. So I was like, I'll patronize the local business. And the manufacturers can suck my dick. These cards are under warranty. Send me a goddamn new one. So, I mean, he's going to pester them, and hopefully they'll send a fucking brand new card instead of a refurb so they can get them out of their hair. So, yeah, fuck CyberPower PC. Mm-hmm. And fuck Power Color, which is the manufacturer of the video card. What are they called? The build, maybe? You know how there's like different companies that make them?
Well, yeah, it's like the same model, but they just have different companies that use the same like schematics or
and they build theirs and box it. Yeah, right. Fuck them. So, whatever. I'm gonna get my computer back probably in a month. Yeah. This is gonna take 2 weeks for the fucking RMA to come through. Yeah. Again, unless they are kind and send it fast, because they said the video card was pretty quick. The motherboard took forever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the video card was just like a week or something.
Yeah. They sent the broken one. Well, they didn't get back for like 2 weeks and like, hey, we don't have that card anymore.
Well, yeah, right.
And it's like, well, it's under warranty, so I feel like you should fucking have it if it's under warranty.
You would think.
You'd think they should have some in stockpile, but no, so fuck them, and when I get it back, I'll get it back. Cool. Great. PC gaming sucks sometimes. Yeah. When you got a rig that works well, like this Dell rig that I got, and the one I had before it, this fucking thing I got in 2008. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Still trucking.
This thing is like 7 years old come this fall, and it works great. It's a little slow. The indexing is horribly slow on the video and the drives. It's USB 2.0, so that sucks. And one of the USB drive things up front's kind of busted.
Yeah. That's why you gotta build your own, man.
It fucking works. Well, I was going to, but the CyberPower PC deal with the crazy high-end shit that I was getting. Yeah. And the video card's an i7 3 gigahertz. It's really fast. It was like the second most expensive one. And looking at the prices, it was going to cost me like $1,300 to do it myself. Yeah. Without like the liquid cooling and all that shit. And I was like, man, it's not going to. I mean, my time of like probably 8 hours working on it is worth the extra $200. So.
Do you remember I built mine? It didn't take 8 hours. It took like maybe. Well,
you're better at this shit than I am. I've only ever put a computer together once. And that was like 9 years ago. So, and I've never actually put a motherboard in. I've only ever gotten a bare chassis with Mobo and put in everything else.
Yeah. I don't say the motherboard's not hard. It's finding all the right hookups to the motherboard spots that are.
Yeah. And that was a computer I had no skin in the game with.
Yeah.
Because that was a fucking work computer that I was working on. I was like, this busts, whatever. We got like 100 more. We'll just get a replacement. So, yeah. Fucking A. Computergate 2015 update. Yeah. You have any tech troubles?
Not really. I mean, other than like the laptop I use for podcasting is just slow. It's balls now. It's just terrible.
You know what's great?
Old. What?
Samsung.
Yeah.
That fucking tablet. Remember a year ago or in the fall when I got it had all those issues.
Yeah.
And that warranty company that it was supposed to be under was like, mail it to us on your dime.
Right.
And I was like, fuck no. And so I like complained about it, and they were like, well, we don't service it. Woot's supposed to service it. I bought it off Woot. And they're like, well, you're supposed to use the one that says. And they both give me the runaround. So I just logged on to Samsung and registered it. And then I was like talking to a Samsung tech, and they're like, oh, hey, yeah, all right, we'll just start a 1-year warranty from today, even though I was supposed to only have a 90-day. And send it. We'll send you a label. Mail it out to us. And I got it back, and it's been working perfectly. And so that's good customer service.
Yeah, totally.
Like, I mean, shipping a fucking tablet was like $10. So, just fucking do it for me, you assholes. So I got that sent out and got it back, and it works great. And I've actually been doing something awesome on it.
Yeah.
So I was reminiscing about one of my favorite games of all time. Adam, do you know what one of my favorite games of all time is?
Chrono Trigger?
Besides maybe World of Warcraft.
Chrono Trigger?
No, you're in the right vein, though. Think a generation newer.
Generation newer.
Yes.
PlayStation?
PlayStation, yep. PlayStation JRPG.
Suikoden?
No. Suikoden 2.
Oh, Suikoden 2.
Maybe the first one was on PlayStation. I didn't play that one. No.
JRPG.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I like Final Fantasy Tactics. That's
it's got a cloth map. Came in the box.
Oh, fuck yeah! Lunar! Shit.
Yes.
Yeah, Lunar 2.
So,
Silver Story.
Yes. So I have my discs for that, but I don't have a working PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
But I do have an Android tablet.
Yeah.
Which has some pretty nice apps.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying.
I do.
I mean, how do we feel on piracy at this point?
I generally try not to pirate. I mean, if I can afford things.
Same here.
Usually when I have a problem, when I pirate something, it's because it's like Japanese and I can't stream it through Crunchyroll or some kind of like...
Yeah. Something
not
weird
available.
and obscure that's like not attainable.
Or it's like a SNES game that I'm never going to have the cartridge for, like Chrono Trigger or something like that.
Earthbound.
Or, Earthbound.
And it's a game in which it's impossible for you to purchase legally.
Pretty
and
much.
The only way to get it would be through buying it secondhand, and Nintendo doesn't get any of that money.
Yeah, secondhand and at an exorbitant price.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think an Earthbound used cart's like $100.
Yeah.
Not worth it.
No.
That game's good, but it's not $100 nostalgia good.
No.
But I've played that. So yeah, emulators are weird because they preserve a history. Yeah. And Lunar is an interesting situation. So Lunar Silver Star Story is a remake of the Sega CD Lunar game. Mm-hmm. Came out on PlayStation 1 around 1999, I think. 98, 99. I think it's 98. Amazing game. Incredibly well translated. Just download the strategy guide and read it. It's fucking hilarious. The tagline says, Lunar, one awesome game, one bitchin' walkthrough. Is the text printed on the page. Yeah. Like, it is really, like, for when I was, like, 13, when I was playing the game, that shit was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And I loved it. And I played the fuck out of that game. And it cost $60, which was a lot, but it came with a cloth map and a little medallion and all sorts of bullshit. That was fun. So anyway, there's emulators available, and if you have, and now this is my thought. Piracy is bad.
Sure.
I would love to buy Lunar Silver Star Story Complete.
Oh,
again.
me too.
PlayStation 3, there's PS1 classics available. Lunar is not one of them.
No.
You know, Working Designs, or whatever company it is now, I don't know who owns the rights to it. They put out, actually, an iOS remake that was pretty good, from what I heard. It has all of the original, like, cutscenes and everything. Mm-hmm. All right? Different voice actors, Adam. It's just not my nostalgia there at that point. It's like, oh.
Well, yeah. And
iOS only.
Yeah.
It came out like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
No Android version is coming. So I have no way to buy this game that I want. And I would gladly pay $15.
Well, and here's the other thing. I really don't feel bad about pirating things that I already bought once, too.
Exactly, and I have the disc sitting next to me at my desk.
Exactly.
You know, with the fucking hardcover manual that came with it. Like, I have this game. I bought it. And I can't play it anymore because the PlayStation 1's old, and I have no clue where mine is. My PlayStation 2 is busted, so I have no way to play it legally. Right. And so we enter the quasi-legal territory of playing a ROM version of a game you already own. And it's kind of bullshit that there's no other way to. Because, I mean, fucking give me a way to buy it and I will.
Yeah.
I would much rather be playing on my TV than on a fucking touch screen. Although, I purchased on Amazon the SteelSeries Bluetooth video game controller for tablets.
Oh, yeah?
It was like $25. It is motherfucking bitchin'.
Really?
It works amazing. So I can just set up the tablet, like a little TV screen at my desk, and play with the fucking controller. It's got dual analog sticks. It's great. Like I was playing. That's why I was late to the podcast, because I was in a boss battle. The first boss is a bitch.
Yeah.
The saline slimer on the ship that you're taking to Maribia. And you got to kill him so you can get on the ship. And he heals 90 health each round. And you do... and if you just attack and don't use, like, magic attacks and stuff, you do less than 90 each round. So it's kind of difficult. You really lay into him. Anyway, it's a difficult boss fight, but I did not actually complete it. I got to the point where I ran out of mana, and he was healing more than I was doing damage, so the fight would have been over. So I looked up some strategies. So I'm going to try it again.
Yeah.
And get to that. So that's been great. Like getting this Bluetooth controller that just works and connected right away. And
that's Bluetooth?
Bluetooth, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a great deal.
So, the other thing is you might be able to do, a lot of them have like HDMI out to like micro USB type things, maybe?
Oh, well, no, that doesn't even matter. I mean, I can Chromecast the screen.
Oh, yeah.
From the TV to my Chromecast. It's a little laggy.
Oh.
But with a JRPG, it wouldn't be incredibly noticeable.
No, it doesn't matter that much in something like that.
No, and because it doesn't have native Chromecast support, so I'd have to cast the screen, which is weird.
Well, that's what like an HDMI to whatever cable.
I mean, I could just download a fucking ROM for my computer, though. You know what I mean? Like, I just wanted to play it on my tablet, in bed.
Sure.
But now that I get a controller working, it's even better.
Yeah.
That's like key. One of the nice things about Android over iOS.
I can Chromecast a lot of stuff.
Well, no, just the fact that their app store is a little bit less restrictive.
Oh, yeah.
You can get some weird stuff for Android.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I could play Super Nintendo games on there, too.
Totally.
Which I own all of. It's just crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I want to play Final Fantasy 3. I've got it.
Yeah.
Although I would actually rather play that on a Super... Because I have a working Super Nintendo hooked up to my TV, so...
Yeah.
That's the way I would play those. Which is why I don't have any of them on there, but... Oh, man. They need to get, like... Like, they have the Retron?
Yeah.
They got to get, like, a PlayStation 1.
I want to say they've done that, but I can't think of it now, so maybe they haven't, actually.
It'd be a bit more difficult.
I thought they did, but I could be wrong.
Because I got all these PlayStation 1 games that I'd like to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
My
And 64
PS2,
as well.
as far as I know, still works. So.
But I mean, I have most of these old consoles hooked up. I just don't have PlayStation 1 and 2 because mine are dead.
Yeah.
And,
You should just get another PlayStation 2, really. I'm sure they have some
yeah,
small
you're right.
ones
I could
that
probably
are-
buy like a PlayStation 2 Slim for like $70 used.
Yeah.
And it would
Maybe
work.
even less. Maybe like
Yeah.
50.
I almost did that a while ago.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I decided against upon it.
I have a PS2. I haven't hooked it up in, I don't think it's since I moved here, actually. But, yeah.
Well, the PlayStation 3 has done such a good job, and Sony has done such a good job of cash grabbing and re-releasing most of the games you'd want to play anyway.
That's true.
Like Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah.
I've got that for PS3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I played it. It's great.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of games are available, like with PlayStation Now, to stream.
That's one thing I haven't really looked at too much. Is the
I should do
PlayStation
more
Now.
of that, actually. Now that I have now that I have my PlayStation hooked up via just a Ethernet cable.
I wonder if that's successful for them.
They had a deal where I think you can pay $20 a month to get like a library of games,
Oh, yeah?
but it's not all of them. It's like rotating service. It's like, They need to get that. The price is too high is the problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you have like phone games that are $1,
Yeah.
it's really difficult to say, hey, pay $8 to rent this for a month.
For an old game.
Yeah, for an old game that you've probably already paid for, or even own a copy of at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's the thing. Do they have new stuff on now as well? Like,
New stuff?
yeah, like can you rent new PS4 games or whatever?
Oh, no, it's only PS2 and
Oh, okay.
PS3 and PS1 games.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They need to get more of the PlayStation. Like, PlayStation has some great stuff with like the PlayStation 1 classics and stuff on PS3.
Yeah.
They need to get that on PS4.
They do.
Come on,
They do.
guys. It can't be that difficult.
You know, the thing I don't understand is why they charge so much for those older games. Like, I mean,
They've done a pretty good job. Like, I bought Persona, which I own for PS2,
yeah.
and it was $5 on sale one day. You know what
On
I mean?
sale, yeah, but I mean, normally it's like, what, 15 or something?
Yeah, but that's not too bad.
It's not too bad. But,
Anything under $20, I think, is okay.
yeah, but
you
when
know?
you think about how old these games are, I know that doesn't make them any less good, necessarily, but it's just, you gotta imagine, like, I don't know, they can't be selling gangbusters or whatever. Is it really, are they really, I don't know.
Well, Steam has done a
Maybe
really
they have
good
to
job
make it
with that.
worthwhile. I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, Steam sales are crazy.
Yeah.
And a lot of places talk about, like, how when they have a game go on sale on Steam, like, they'll make a decent amount of money on the
Yeah.
game when it's on sale, but then they make money after the sale. Their sales go up after the sale
That's
because it just comes up into the, community consciousness.
yeah, that's true.
And they get some aftershock sales, which
I don't know. It just seems like a kind of cash grab to me when I see like old games for $15, and I'm like, you've already sold all the copies that you expect.
well, a lot of
to get out
times
this.
the
Like,
remakes are done by a different company,
Yeah, I guess
like,
there's work to be done in
Yeah.
converting all that stuff.
Well, like,
so.
okay, so example, like Planescape Torment came out on
Right.
Good Old Games finally, like 2
Yeah.
years ago or something, and I had downloaded a pirated version of that because there was absolutely no way to get that game.
Yeah, I want to play
But-
that.
but
I
when
think
it
I got
came-
it on. I think I got it on GOG
But
actually.
when, yeah, exactly. When it came out on GOG, it was like, oh, $10? Fuck yeah, I'll pony up for that. Like,
Mm-hmm. Right.
yeah, and I did because it was, reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of I mean, we're moving more towards that future now, though.
I almost understand that more for computers though, because computers, I mean, especially older computer games, it's always been like a fucking shit show with like
Oh, yeah.
them having like different run speeds in computers and
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I think there's more variables there to have
Mm-hmm.
to account for than there is for console type stuff. But,
Whereas Good Old Games does a really good job emulating that.
oh, totally, yeah.
Like old stuff, so you can play super old games, like Heroes of Might and Magic 3. I can play, no problem.
I mean,
GOG.
it's like, some games like you just have to run in environments that it's so
Simulate
hilarious.
a super slow computer.
I love that because like when you like try to run them in a new computer, they're based on like clock speed and they just fucking like fly.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. But yeah,
Like
yeah,
Magic Carpet, I think, is one of those games.
yeah, they did it on Giant Bomb.
Yeah.
That was
'Cause that game
ridiculous.
is the run speed is based on your clock speed. So if you put it on a new computer and install it, you fly at like 8 billion miles an hour.
Yeah.
You know, because it's that's the way they programmed it. You know,
Yeah,
because
totally.
computers were kind of topped out at speed. So, but that's kind of crazy when you think about it, though. Back then, when you play games,
right.
you'd be like, if you get a Pentium, you could play the game faster.
Oh yeah,
Which is weird. Yeah, so PC gaming, big old time. That's so that's what I spent my week playing. A lot of Lunar,
yeah.
a lot of playing some Grand Theft Auto Online for PlayStation 4, and watching a fuck ton of NBA playoff basketball.
Ugh, you would.
It's on TV every night, Adam.
Ugh.
It's the fucking gloriousness that
That's why I
is.
don't watch TV.
My God, Adam, the Chicago Bulls Cavs game last night I was watching on my tablet while Lauren was on playing Stick of Truth on the TV. Oh, that you gotta love. I mean, I don't watch basketball, but when a game ends with a buzzer beater 3-point shot to win the game, just like watching the crowd, you know, the ball is in the air, you know, he jumps like jumping sideways. Derrick Rose making this just last ditch 3 attempt. You know, it was tied.
Yeah.
You know, so they didn't even need a 3, but it was the only shot that was open. Jumps, and you just see the crowd. You just, like, time slows down. You just see the audience just, like, quiet, and then it hits, and just the entire arena just erupted.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. The drama. Anyway, that was great. There's been a great playoff so far. Anyway, the Bucks didn't win, but
Okay.
they won 2 games. Adam,
I could care less.
the Milwaukee Bucks this year are like they're no. I'm trying to make a good example.
No, can we just
Nope.
skip this
Nope.
because I don't care
Give me
or
2 minutes.
want to know about this.
They're like the bad news Bears. Like last year, they were the worst team in the NBA. 15 wins out of like 80 games. They were awful. This year, 6th seed in the playoffs, won like 40 games, Adam. Like 46. Like 15 to 46 with largely the same people.
Wow.
It was just a turnaround. And they won 2 playoff games, Adam. 2. They made it a 6-game series. Like,
Great.
it was... To go from being the absolute worst team in the NBA to winning 2 playoff games in, like, 1 year is insane. And just a great story. Anyway. That's my sport minute. We'll move on.
Thank you.
Do you have anything else you wanted to talk about? Well, let's get to
Well,
your
I
game.
had a segue going.
So wait, Adam, let me
wandered
just say.
into all this sports
Let me just
stuff.
let me try and let me re-segue you.
Okay.
I'll say that the players on the Milwaukee Bucks are pillars of the Milwaukee community.
Pillars, you say?
Yes.
Funny you should say that because I've been playing a PC game called Pillars of Eternity.
All right.
So this is a CRPG,
What's that mean?
computer.
Is that a
RPG.
car PG?
No, it's a
Like the Forza
no.
unlocking
Why would
cars?
I? No.
Oh God, I want to play a racing game. Adam, I'm going to buy a wheel when I get my computer.
Ugh. No, get a flight stick.
You're right. I'm going to buy a flight stick for Elite Dangerous, and then hopefully Star Citizen.
No, it's a computer RPG, and it's this one kind of follows the lines of like Baldur's Gate games, Neverwinter Nights,
Okay.
Icewind Dale type thing, Infinity Engine games.
Divine Divinity, kind of stuff like that.
Maybe. These are kind of mostly from Obsidian, the company Obsidian.
So like a Planescape Torment, like we were talking about before.
That's in Exile, I think.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Not a... All right, but
Actually, they're
similar...
coming out with another one this year. They're coming out with Torment Numenaria or something like that, or Numenara, which could be cool.
Yeah, it could be.
But but definitely in a similar vein. Yeah.
Yep.
So you get like a party of up to 6 people, and you're rolling around, kind of like Divinity: Original Sin, except this is real time, all real time.
Okay, yeah. So it's much more like Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, it's definitely more like Baldur's Gate. Still,
Oh
RPG,
god, that's terrifying. Or like what's it called? Dragon Age a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit like Dragon Age.
Although
Sure.
you can stop time in Dragon Age.
You can stop time in this too.
Okay.
You can pause whenever you want to. You can also double time or go into slow time, like at half speed.
But it's not turn-based like Divinity is.
No.
I'm looking forward to playing that when I get my PC back.
Me too. That game is fun.
We'll play that
awesome.
together.
We should, yeah.
I'll stream it.
Sure, totally.
I don't think it'll be that hard.
No, I don't think so.
OBS is an incredible tool.
Yeah. But, yeah, Pillars...
Speaking of incredible tools, Adam,
God damn it.
you got your goat.
God damn it. All right.
Ba-ba.
But this is definitely... Ba? That's
I got
a sheep,
your goat.
isn't it?
No.
Sheep say ba.
No, well, goats yell like humans.
Okay.
Like, ah!
Fair enough.
That's a goat.
All right. Anyway, yeah, definitely RPG though. Like you're unlocking doors with your rogue or whatever, and you're, talking to people,
Adam plays a monk.
getting quests. I do actually.
I knew it.
There's a monk in there.
You're
He's pretty
always
cool,
a
too.
monk.
Yeah, so I got a monk. I got like a wizard. There's chanter, which is a cool class, where you sit around chanting.
What's my RPG? So you're monk. What do you think I am?
I don't know. I don't know
knowing
why,
you.
but I see you as like a cleric or
Oh, come on.
paladin.
No.
Maybe it's just because we played like Paladin in Hell.
Yeah, we played Pathfinder for a while. No.
Um,
What I always pick.
what do you always pick?
Yeah. When I play these games,
You pick fighter usually, don't you?
not always. I've been doing that more lately because I've always pigeonholed myself as a ranger.
Yeah, you do play rangers a lot. Yeah.
I like bows.
That's true. I do too. I like ranged characters, and I like monks, but I also like wizards. Wizards are badass.
Yeah, I've never been a wizard guy
Yeah, it's always monks or wizards for me usually.
because wizards in like tabletop RPGs are usually mathematics.
Yeah.
And
I like a little math in there.
complicated lists of spells and
Yeah.
preparations and reagents. Mm-hmm. A little too spreadsheety for me. But
My alchemist is my favorite.
alchemists are great.
Yeah, totally.
I could do that.
There's like wizardy stuff there though. I mean, they're like wizards except maybe even more complicated.
Yeah, but they're like lighter on the...
They're not as dead. They're not as easily killed. For one
Yeah.
thing. And you can throw bombs, which is a lot
Well,
of fun.
wizards, you got like spell books and shit.
Oh, you got a formula book as an alchemist.
It's complicated. Wait,
It's pretty much the same thing.
I want to talk. So we were able to play Skull and Shackles, my Pathfinder group that I'm DMing right now,
Oh yeah.
and there's an incredible part in the. So this is spoilers for Skull and Shackles if anyone's playing it, and isn't a GM. But there's a point in the fourth book. So this is spoiler for you if you ever play it, Adam. But whatever.
Yeah.
It's way past when it came out at this point.
Sure.
But there's a point where I'll try and be non-specific, but there's an item that they're going for, and it's a crazy room setup. So you have to blind yourself to be able to see the entrance
Oh wow.
to where this thing is. But
Yeah.
you can do. There's incense in the room that you can light that will make you temporarily blind, or you can just use cast blindness deafness on yourself,
Sure.
which you can use a command word to turn off. But you go in there and you have to grab this like stone off a pedestal, and it's a soul stone, like a night hag soul stone, weird made up thing that's messed up.
Sure.
You touch it, you have to roll a will save,
Yeah.
and if you fail the will save, what do you guess happens, Adam?
Does it like take over your mind or something, or is it like
Worse.
worse?
Yep. Take the character piece off the board. You're trapped inside the gem.
Oh, it takes your soul.
Yes.
Oh my god.
That happened to one of our players.
Oh my god.
That was fun to do.
I bet.
Luckily, it doesn't kill you.
Yeah.
So it's actually really interesting. So like, there's this like cult that's using it, and they send like supplicants, and they blind them. They go up to the stone,
Yeah.
and then like it radiates necromantic energy when you get close to it. So
Yeah.
it does enervation randomly on targets. which is awesome.
Yeah.
So people lose levels that are near it, basically.
Ooh.
Temporary negative levels or whatever from enervation, which come back after hours, but
Yeah. That's rough stuff.
it is rough stuff. So you got to get it and grab it quick. And if you break it, it stops. Or if you have a way to contain it.
Yeah.
So anyway, they did the whole thing, and they go in there and start getting negative levels, and everyone chickens out and runs out. And it's funny because only one person blinded themselves to go in there because they were like, I don't want to go blind. And then these two stone watchers come out, and they have they're kind of like Cyclops zombie mummy monsters that were created, and they have a breath attack that blinds you. So they just started blinding everyone, and it was like hectic. And but you can see inside the little room if you're blind, so you can see them moving around in there if you're blind. So I have it so as long as you're in the room or they're in the room and you're attacking them, you can see them.
Yeah.
Like a supernatural glowy aura. And so the rogue, the pirate rogue guy got trapped. And then they had to fight the two beasts, and they're really deadly. They got like 200 hit points, and they hit like a truck,
Damn.
I think 2d8s plus like 10 or something.
Oh.
And they got 2 attacks, and a
my
bite
God.
that does poison that drains con. It's crazy.
From what I've heard of that adventure, it seems like it just is out to fuck you every which way.
That's the first book.
Because it starts out.
The second and third books are a little bit easier.
Oh, okay.
They're more like pirate sailing around, finding ships and stuff. But yeah, early on, it's real rough. And then this book gets a little rough, too, with some of the necromancy stuff that you have to fight. But it's badass. And, so they navigated the encounter. It was really dire. A bunch of people almost died. And then they finally got in, and just the Minotaur fighter they had just axe wielded and destroyed the crystal and out popped the guy. But anyway, the supplicants they send in, they die while meditating and having their levels drained, and then when you die, your soul is sucked in.
Okay.
But if you get sucked in as a person, your body doesn't get destroyed; it just gets pulled in with the soul. So if it breaks, then you come back. So not like a bunch of orcs or whatever popped out when it did it. It was just him because everyone else had died. And then if you're in the room and you die, it pulls your soul into it, basically.
Vacuums you up, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
But in this case, he got his whole body pulled in. So
That's cool.
he was fine as soon as they popped it. But they were supposed to get that for someone. So they were supposed to get the stone for someone. So
They just destroyed it.
yeah, well, their friend was trapped.
Yeah,
and it
fair
was
enough.
really gnarly. And then the guy didn't tell them how gnarly it was.
Okay.
He was just like, "Give it for me. I'll give you my treasure."
Yeah.
So they're gonna have to go back and talk to him.
Cool. Funny you should mention souls. That's a lot about what this game is kind of centered around.
Double seg.
Yeah.
It's a
Because
double-barreled
you,
shotgun seg.
Early on, you're exposed to this weird kind of like soul storm type
Okay.
thing that usually kills people.
Okay.
Doesn't kill you,
All right.
but it kind of like awakens this ability. You're what they call in the world a watcher.
Okay.
You can kind of see.
Like Giles.
Yes, like Giles.
Okay. Yep.
Where you can kind of see people's souls and stuff, and there's like reincarnation, so you can kind of sometimes see their past and other cool stuff like that. You can see recently deceased ghost type people.
Yeah. Sounds cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's a neat game, and all the RPG stuff. I like to talk to people, getting quests, completing quests, stuff like that. There's a little bit of weird mechanical stuff. It's not quite, it's mostly D&D, but there's some other things like heavier the armor is, like the slower your recovery speed is, so your character speed goes down, stuff like that.
Yep.
But it's a really fun, really cool game. Takes a little bit to heat up. Like I'm in Act 2 now,
Okay.
and things have kind of gotten a little bit cooler there. It's also really neat the way it works, like with its reputation system.
All right.
You have like general traits that you kind of build up points in, like benevolence and stuff like that, where people were like, "Hey, you're a nice dude, I've heard."
Yeah. Yep.
But like even more so,
Renegade or Paragon.
yeah, kind of. But there's a little bit more shades than that.
Okay.
But even more so affected by that are like every area kind of has its own like faction, and sometimes there are like groups within the town or whatever that have their own kind of factions. I got to a big major city now, and I grabbed up all these quests and stuff like that. I started doing a couple of them, and then I tried to do like the second part of this one quest, and I couldn't because I'd gotten too friendly with these other guys who were the enemies of the other guys. So there's kind of neat stuff like that where like, oh yeah, thanks for doing that for us, but yeah, I don't want to talk with you anymore because you're a little too friendly with those dudes. And we hate them. And like I unwittingly, it's kind of like a mafia type family in this town that I unwittingly early got on the bad side of, which is kind of cool because they're dicks anyway. But that closes off some kind of neat roguey stuff that you can do, like working for them in like a mafia context. But it's really cool like that. So there's definitely some replayability options there for choosing different sides and seeing what happens with that. And it's a lot of fun. Combat is a lot of fun. I'm digging it. I usually don't like the real-time stuff. Like I like Divinity, their turn-based thing. I like what they got going on there.
Yeah, that was really cool.
And their environmental type stuff, interactions.
For sure.
But the real-time stuff is a lot of fun too. I'd never really played a whole lot of those like Baldur's Gate earlier games on computer and stuff like that. But it's kind of making me want to go back and take a look at a couple of them. I think I bought a bunch of them on good old games when they were
of
cheap,
course.
So.
Well, yeah, they're cheap.
Yeah, I should do that. But
they have sales all the time.
I just kind of discovered that this is definitely like a genre that I like, and I'm looking forward to like that new Torment game that's coming out and stuff like that. So
yeah, of course. But that sounds really cool.
Should be really cool.
What's your guy's name?
My guy's name is he's Rufus.
Rufus.
I did because I named him after my other monk who died ingloriously.
Yeah. Is Inglorious a good death?
No.
Okay.
Inglorious is a bad death.
Yeah, how did he die again?
Scylla.
The last time?
He fell down a trapdoor into the pit with like basically a boss monster, like a hell kraken type thing.
Oh yes, he was eaten alive.
He was eaten alive.
Yes, I remember that. and then it swam away.
It pissed me off too because the reason he couldn't get out is usually for inside a creature you can like do enough damage to the inside to get out, but you needed slashing weapons.
Correct.
And
you need to be able to cut.
Yeah, all he had was his fists, and he didn't have any daggers, so he couldn't punch his way out of the gut. Oh,
I'd probably, if I was DMing, I probably would have made it possible.
I mean, it was possible, but he had a lot of DR.
And we were in 3rd edition, so
or
3.5, so it was a little bit more wishy-washy.
And also, there's a feat for that, which I actually took on my next Ninja Monk character, my Ninjunk. That lets you change the damage type. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And I think that's a base thing in Pathfinder that you get as a monk. When you get to a certain level, you can choose the type of damage it's doing.
No, you get like magic equivalent damage.
Did you like
so you can bypass
adamantine at some
stuff.
Point too, though?
Yeah, at some point you do, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, it switches it up. And I think the rules are different. So I believe you don't have to do slashing damage on the inside.
I think you're right there.
You just need to do enough damage for it to basically not like cut your way out, but like make it spit you up, you know, because you're doing so much damage inside.
God, that was ridiculous, though.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But yeah.
How did the other character die in that?
Well, he didn't...
Wasn't that character was eaten by a clay golem and then everyone stabbed him to death inside?
He didn't technically die because the DM was very kind, because I literally just lost my character the time before, and my new character, it was his first session.
Yeah.
And, yes, he was enveloped by a clay golem, and he was taken down below 0 hit points by... Because every time you guys hit the clay golem, it was doing like half damage to my character inside as well. Mm-hmm. So he should have died there, but he actually ended up living to the end of that campaign where it fizzled out.
Well, where we ended.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, cool.
I do miss having my monk do key blasts, though. That was kind of cool.
Ninjunk.
Yeah. My Ninjunk.
That's right. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's Pillars of Eternity.
That's Pillars of Eternity.
Playing.
I'd recommend it. It's like $40 on Steam, I think, for the...
Yeah. I think it's time for us to talk about Avengers.
Yeah, it is.
It's time for us to avenge 2. Ultron Age.
Ultron Boogaloo.
How do you like Avengers 2?
I made my feelings pretty clear last week, I think, that I pretty much loved it.
So you gave it a 5?
I gave it a 5. I understand that it's one of those things where it doesn't really accomplish a whole lot in terms of the overall MCU.
Yeah.
But like as far as summer blockbusters go for just the going along for the ride, yeah, it's a 5 from me.
I guess for me, I have to give it a 4.
Yeah.
So I feel like it was just too safe. Again. You know what I mean? I feel like there were some deeper, darker holes that could have gone down with Tony Stark. And they didn't really do it.
It's one of the things I think I like about the Marvel movies, though. Like, DC's doing the dark thing.
No, but I'm not talking like fucking grim dark, let's be dark. I'm talking like just character motivations. Because, I mean, we could talk about the Marvel hole I've slipped down, but I've been...
Yeah, I do too.
All up in the Marvel Unlimited application on my tablet.
Oh, yeah.
I've been reading an F ton of comics.
I should do that.
All week. Adam, you should do it because there's a free 1-month trial right now.
Oh,
because of the Age of Ultron movie.
Fuck yeah!
Put the coupon code Ultron on checkout. So you get a month free. They don't even charge your card. They just take you know what I mean, like or whatever. They just take your card information. So a month from now, I'll get charged $10 a month for like not all the Marvel comics, but pretty much all the backlog.
Yeah, quite a bit for sure.
Yeah, but so I've been reading Civil War right now.
Oh yeah,
which is really incredible as a series because it just kind of blows everything up and it gets real like not psychological, what I'm trying theological maybe or what's the word I'm trying to think of here?
Philosophical?
Just like philosophical about like the like how people, whether or not, you know, all of the people that are superpowered should be unmasked.
It's kind of a freedom versus security type thing almost.
Yeah. And then like so I read it and I gotta fall deeply on the side of Tony Stark on this one.
Registering?
Oh, yeah. I'm pro-register.
Yeah.
Tony Stark, but the whole point about it, though, and which I think they kind of missed on this movie, and they hint at, but I hate it. So one of the things I dislike about these Marvel movies is they feel like they are there to set up the other movies a lot of times.
Yeah.
You know, whereas this, and to be fair, we get an interesting conclusion out of this. This may be, you know, an interesting middle point. You know what I mean?
Right. I think that's kind of what's going on.
Yeah, hopefully. But, you know, as it stands, it's, you know, for me, it's a 4. Just because they could have gone more with, like, Tony. Because that's what they're hinting at. Because he wanted to create Ultron to be the police force of the world, which is kind of in existence at the Civil War. Because he has all of his Iron Man bots.
Iron Legion.
Yeah, that are protecting the world. But, yeah, and he gets a little maniacal in Civil War. Because he's... he you know, basically is like, well, if they're not with us, we gotta take them down, and you know, it's like crazy, but it's all because he wants the world to be safe. And it's interesting when you have these two people trying to do the right thing in a different way. Yeah. And my favorite superhero, Adam. Do you know who my favorite superhero is?
I don't. Is it Captain America?
Nope.
No, it's not. Of course, it's not.
I like how you're like Captain. No. Nope.
Is it the Hulk?
No. Fuck the Hulk.
Fuck the Hulk. My favorite is Tony Stark. Is it yours Tony Stark?
No.
Who?
Spider-Man.
Oh, right.
I fucking love Spider-Man.
Yeah, you said this last week. I forgot.
He's so good as a character, and I'm so looking forward to him being included in the next movie.
Yeah, he has a big part in the comics, but I don't think he's going to have as big a part.
He's a huge part in the comics so far, and I'm just at the start.
Yeah.
I'm like in the second comic book of Civil War.
Yeah.
The second issue, maybe third issue at this point. But the great thing about Marvel Unlimited is they have the Civil War event.
Yeah.
And they have a chronological order of every comic that came out that time that was a tie-in.
Oh, that's great.
So you can just read through them as they were coming out in, like, you know, June of 2006.
Yeah.
And you're just basically, like, reading, oh, here's a She-Hulk issue where it's like she's doing this stuff. And then here's a, you know... Fantastic Four, and here's this, you know, Ultimate Spider-Man, or not Ultimate Spider-Man, it was
Amazing Spider-Man.
Amazing Spider-Man, yeah, issue like 900.
Right.
No, it's the reboot, I guess, that started in like 92 or whatever. But
Spectacular?
No,
still amazing.
It's still amazing.
They had like two of them that were running. I think they had like Spectacular and Amazing.
Yeah, Spectacular is I don't think was tied in with the Civil War universe, but yeah, pretty incredible. And it's just kind of a great way to read it. And, you know, you get the X-Men comics, you get the Wolverine comics. And, you know, I've never been a fan of Wolverine, but...
I'm not either.
Reading the comics
pretty badass.
He gets pretty badass. So,
Yeah.
like, you know, the Civil War, it kind of sparks off when the New Warriors, or what are they called? They're a bunch of kids that got superpowers, and they're, like, doing a reality show or whatever, and they, you know, attack a bunch of supervillains that are kind of hiding out.
Yeah.
And Nitro's there, and he just blows up, like, a city block with a school, killing, like, 600 civilians. Mm-hmm. And they're blamed, and they're like, this is the tipping point. Like, we need to register.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting because it's, like, a great thought because they make so many good points on both sides. You know what I mean?
Right.
But, I mean, when it comes down to it, and it's the thing that Aunt May and Mary Jane and, you know, Tony Stark say to Spider-Man that got me on the side, because it's like, you know, you have all these politicians, you have these military people, and they are public faces.
Yeah.
They can get attacked. But
Right.
we get to do things and have basically carte blanche to do whatever the fuck we want without putting our families at risk. You know what I mean? People in embassies over in the Middle East, their families are at risk.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But we aren't, you know, and he's like, are they not worth, you know, are we better than them? You know, they're people too. They're citizens too.
Right.
And they, you know, so, and that's kind of what turned his mind about it, you know, because it's like, it only makes sense that everyone, but then it gets a little bit, then things go a little deep.
Sure.
Deep dark with Tony Stark and Captain America fighting each other.
Well, I mean, that's one of the cool appeals about a story like this is that essentially both sides are the good guys.
Both sides are
they
right
just have different,
in their
they
own
just have
ways.
different opinions. Yeah, exactly.
And that's kind of what. And man, reading these comics, because I hated comics. You know what I mean? But I'm getting into it now.
But
I'm getting into it now.
I like comics.
Like I'm reading the Fantastic Four and the Thing. Ben Grimm is awesome.
Yeah.
He's a great character, and like everyone's like, "You're gonna help us track these guys down, right?" And he's like, "Can't I just be like on this?" Because like all of the Fantastic Four have their, you know, names known because it was a public event in which they got their powers. You know, they came back and had powers. You know, Reed Richards, they're all public faces.
Yeah.
And he's just like, "Can I just, you know, agree with you and not, you know, fight? You know, is
Right.
it okay to have a different opinion slightly than you and not fight over it?" You know, which is interesting because it's like, it's totally right. It's all a mess. It's terrible, but interesting. I don't know. And then fucking Wolverine I didn't like, but like he's just basically crosses the country tracking down Nitro, beating up bikers and shit, and he just gets there.
Yeah.
And like, you know, they have like a, you know, Tony Stark's like, "Hey, Shield's got to take this. You know, we got a strike team. We're gonna take him down by surprise. You can't be a vigilante here. We don't want something bad happening again."
Right.
And, you know, the Shield gets there, and he's like, "All right, fine, but I'll be on your strike team or whatever." And needless to say, shit doesn't go well, and Nitro blows up yet again, killing hundreds of Shield fighting members. But it's out in the middle of nowhere. Somebody dies, civilians wise. And you know, he, you know, blasts Wolverine, and he's like on his phone talking like, "Yeah, man, I took care of them. I killed Wolverine, killed all these, you know, New Warrior. Oh, fuck, what? God, I can't think of the damn name of those kids or whatever." But and it's like, and then Wolverine just shows up. He's like, "Hey, bub, I'm not done yet." And he's like, I don't know. He's awesome because he's like willing to murder people.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Which is great.
He murders the shit out of people all the time.
It's awesome. And it's like deservedly so.
Yeah.
Another thing I've noticed going down the Marvel hole, women are portrayed poorly.
Yeah, they are.
Like, there's just like shots of asses all the time.
Yes.
And like skimpy clothes. And it's like, why? Like, ugh. Like, there's just a fucking shot of She-Hulk's ass. And you're like, why? What is this? It's gross. It just feels weird, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm not super Mr. PC everything.
Yeah.
But it does feel weird in the comic books.
Yeah. It was a different time.
2006, different time. You know? Anyway, yeah. It's weird, and some of the artists draw women really weird, and it's like, it's just skeevy. But I don't know. But you know, the comic books are worth it. You know, the story is worth it. It's just weird, to me. But we got to talk about Avengers.
Yeah.
So Civil War's coming up, right? And the Infinity War.
Those are a little bit out, but yeah, the next. Well, Ant-Man is this fall.
Hank Pym.
Not in this case,
I know.
but
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
Uh-huh.
Although he's going to be in Civil War as well.
Yeah, of course. I mean, he is.
Yeah. And then it's Civil War next.
God, there's an amazing moment
Here,
in one of these
around this
comics. I feel like it's Civil War issue 2 or 3, and Captain America's like trying to find people on his side, and he goes up to Hank Pym and he's like, "Hey, like, you're an Avenger. I'm an Avenger. Like, you got to see my side on this, right, man?" And he's like, "No, man. People know who I am.
Yeah.
Like, I'm registered already because everyone already knows who I am because I'm Hank Pym and I'm Ant-Man. That's public knowledge." And he's like, "Okay, but like, you have to see, like, this. You're not going to come and fight us, though, are you? You're on our side, right?" And he's like, "Well, we go back," and they just have this long talk, and then S.H.I.E.L.D. shows up. He sold them out, and he's like, "I'm sorry, I had to, I can't not, and it's just like this, I thought you were my friend," and then like he has this amazing line where he's just like, "I can't believe you thought to come to me, you know, but I have to turn you in." It's like, I can't believe how much you thought of me to come to me first, but I can't join you, and it's just like, oh, heartbreaking.
Yeah.
That's some good shit.
Yeah.
Civil War is some good shit. I hope they can get to that in the movies.
Civil War, I think, is going to be massively changed in the movies.
Well, yeah.
So.
They're kind of tying it all together, with these movies. So, and not being able to use the X-Men kind of hurts.
Yeah.
Although they did get Spider-Man. So.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to have a very big part.
And there's no Fantastic Four either.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, when I think of the Avengers, I think of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He's been a fixture of the Avengers recently.
Yeah. But the way the rights and stuff worked out, I think a lot of the work for, like, the writing and stuff like that for Civil War was done before they had Spidey, so...
Well, I mean, they can...
Black Panther is apparently supposed to be in Civil War.
Yeah.
So there's talk about maybe he's going to be kind of the role that Spider-Man was. That they're going to be trying to, like, introduce him...
Yeah, we'll see.
There, but yeah,
they're kind of like with these Marvel movies. They're just kind of doing their overview of all of the major Marvel plot lines.
Yeah, totally.
So there's Infinity Crisis or Infinity War, and all of it's tying together, which is kind of cool. I don't know.
I think so, definitely.
It's kind of a nice through line that they got with all the movies. Also, Scarlet Witch is going to turn on them.
You think?
Oh, dude, she's evil in the comics.
Well,
there's an entire series about her going evil.
She's been an Avenger, though, too.
Stuff. What?
She's been an Avenger, though, too.
She was, and then she turned. Anyway.
Well, I don't think they're quite the House of M yet.
No.
So
that's before Civil War, actually. But
is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting. I keep thinking Civil War is further back, but
no, it's like the most newest event. Right? Or maybe there's a
I think
newer
they had
one.
Secret Wars after that.
Okay, but it's pretty fucking new. No, Secret Wars is before Civil War.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's way back.
In Civil War. They're like, back when they were, S.H.I.E.L.D. was having their Secret War. I was like, oh yeah, shit. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's pretty badass.
Yeah. I haven't read a lot of the comics, but I kind of know a lot of the general
Well, I'm learning
stuff. More. Yeah.
Angry comic people will tell me that I'm wrong, but...
Yeah,
I'm fresh in it. All right, I'm getting immersed.
I'm pretty fresh.
Dipping my toes in the Marvel pool. Is Marvel better than DC, Adam?
Yes, by far. Although I will say that the DC television shows they've been doing, I am a major fan of, like the Flash and the Arrow. I guess they're doing Supergirl now too, and the Legends of Tomorrow is happening. But overall, I think Marvel's better. I mean,
they have a lot of more iconic characters. I mean, you do have Superman and Batman.
Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman.
That I am excited for the Suicide Squad.
I'm excited to see it too,
because that Suicide Squad whole just plot idea, of taking these supervillains and being like, "Hey, do all this horribly dangerous shit."
Yeah.
for us. And I think, what is it? The caveat's like they're going to reduce their sentences.
I think that's the idea.
Not kill them.
Not kill them is, I think, is a big part of it.
Yeah, so it's like, hey, you're going to die anyway, a death penalty, or you can fight for us, doing the dirty work.
Yeah.
And it's kind of badass. And hopefully it's good. I mean,
yeah.
We'll see. Zack Snyder doesn't have the most excellent track record of movies.
That's true.
300's good.
300 is good.
Watchmen was great.
Watchmen was great. If he's completely copying something, he does a pretty good job. So
let's hope the DC people have a deep hand in this, and he's just doing the directing part, and not the plot figuring out part.
Exactly.
So I'm looking forward to that, and then the Superman vs. Batman movie. We'll see.
Oh man, yeah, I don't want to judge it too soon.
It's so difficult to judge though, because like when I was talking with some people about this, and they were like, "Oh, this looks crazy." I'm like, "Yeah, but like think about it this way: you're literally judging a book by its cover at this point."
Yeah, it's true.
Like, how can you make an opinion from the little that you've seen? Especially the trailer's a teaser. I mean, nothing is in that trailer.
Yeah. Although there is a bat plane that appears to smoke some people, so
that's great.
It is great, I guess, but Batman usually his one rule is don't murder anybody.
Well,
unless you're talking about way old school Batman, where he totally murders everybody.
Or like when Batman hangs that man from the bat plane.
Yes, exactly.
Oh Jesus!
But that's real early Batman. Though,
that's what I say. That's like pre-Batman as we know it. Batman. That's like Detective Batman.
Yeah. But in modern times, he's known for like no murder and no guns, kind of. That's his thing.
Yeah, and I just of course the Avengers 2 has caused Joss Whedon to quit Twitter.
No, that's not true.
That's somewhat true.
No, definitely not. He quit Twitter before too. He does it after projects a lot of times.
Yeah.
He does Twitter for like promotional purposes and stuff like that. He did not run away from Twitter because of angry people.
Yeah. It's interesting. The weird backlash that happened out of this.
I think the backlash that happened is pretty weird. I don't understand it.
I mean, we live in a world now where people are rightfully being called out for being racist, bigoted, sexist.
Yeah.
It's a much better world that we live in.
Yeah.
We also live in a world of the internet hate machine.
Yeah.
Which is basically an echo chamber, not too unlike Fox News, where people can just echo their opinions off each other and just build this rage about things. I mean,
that's the thing.
So what's the controversy?
Both sides have their extremists.
What's the controversy around this movie?
People think that Scarlet Witch was treated in a misogynistic way. In that she is... Well, I guess spoilers for Avengers Age of Ultron.
Well, we're talking about Avengers at this point, so...
Yeah. In that she is seen as not as important a member of the team, and she is, I think, captured at one point, and that she's seen as a love interest.
Okay. Now, I would disagree with all of it.
I would too.
The
only part that I think actually
though.
Has any validity is the fact that she was the one who was captured. But other than that, I would say there's...
Yeah, my opinion of this is of many minds. And I am not a woman, so I don't know. I don't know the struggle.
Sure.
So
Absolutely.
I can't be the best on this. But from what I saw, and talking with Lauren, my girlfriend, didn't seem like it was in any way bad. She thought Scarlet Witch was a bit more misogynistic.
Yeah.
Because her first reaction when shit's going down is to run and hide, even though she had been fighting Avengers. You know what I mean? And she had to get a pep talk from someone, Yeah. And it was weird. It was like that. That seemed odd to have a story beat about that. But but anyway, I thought all the stuff with Scarlet Witch was fine. I
did too.
And Lauren was like, I guess I could see where they're coming from, but I didn't really think about that when we watched it.
Yeah.
And
it's also weird because Joss Whedon has always been...
Oh, I know.
He's always been an outspoken feminist, and He often writes very.
He probably
powerful
created
women
one of the most
characters.
feminist-friendly characters ever.
If you look at Buffy,
Yep.
Summer Glau,
Yep.
and Firefly. If you look at what was the other one he did? The Dollhouse. Even it's about like people who are being, I guess, kind of mindwashed and stuff, but they, as far as I understand the story, start kicking ass and taking names.
Well, let's talk about Scarlet.
Faith and Buffy.
So I mean, like, and Buffy is probably one of the best written female characters by a man.
Yeah,
ever,
I would say so too.
because, well, and not even just written by a man, because I know a lot of women wrote on that show too. So
Yeah.
That's great. But I mean, Buffy's great because she is an ass kicking like superhero,
Yeah,
but she's still a girl,
yeah,
which is something that I think that people that want Black Widow to be is to not be a girl, which is weird. And it's like, and I think that's kind of the backlash that you get is like, oh, she should be just like one of the guys, but that's not right either.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And I talked this about Lauren. I was like, she's a woman, like that has to be part of her character.
Right.
And just because, and are we such a society that because a woman has a love story in a thing, it makes her, you know what I mean? It's like a weird misogynistic look at it. You know
I
what
think so,
mean?
too.
It's like you're looking at an eye where, oh, she has a love interest just because she's a girl. And no, she has a love interest because that's her character.
Right.
You know what I mean? She was the one that found Bruce Banner, and she's kind of the only one that has any control over him.
See, one of the this is what I love is somebody had written a tweet that says something like, "So misogynistic, Black Widow is as."
It is if you look.
She's like, she has love interest and she needs to be saved. And then Mark Ruffalo tweeted back and said, "Really, I thought Joss Whedon took the Hulk and made him a trap character and somebody needing to be saved."
He actually had some really great thoughts about it.
Yeah.
On some of the AMAs he did, where he was just like, and this is kind of the conclusion that Lauren and I came with this movie, is that it's not really misogynistic. It's just that we still live in a world that's like that.
Yeah.
And so there still is just this baseline misogyny that exists.
That's true.
And Joss Whedon could have done more to pull away from it, but it wasn't anything particularly egregious.
Yeah, no, definitely not. And I think as far as characters go, Black Widow is somebody who knows what she wants, goes out and does it, and kicks ass. Like, that's...
And if you think about it this way...
She's very empowered.
Yeah, exactly. If you think about it this way, she single-handedly pulled the fucking Vision out of the fucking plane, by herself,
Right.
and flew on it, that's a badass move. Any male character could have been the character that did that.
Absolutely.
But he chose to have Black Widow be the badass that basically stopped the villain from getting his super weapon.
Yeah.
And she got captured. And what did she do when she was captured? Fucking use Morse code to lead everyone to her. I don't know. Like, I feel like she did a lot in that movie.
I think so, too.
I feel like people are overlooking.
I mean,
how
there's a lot of
awesome she
characters
was
in that movie. I think everybody had a pretty good, moment for themselves.
I think the love interest stuff probably should have been cut a little bit because they didn't go into it deep enough.
Yeah.
And I can see why people could be not happy with it because it was kind of threads were there, but it never did anything.
You
know
never
what I mean?
really saw them interacting so much. There's that one scene where they're at the Tony's party or whatever, but like there's not a whole lot tying them together as like a...
No,
but then again, I don't really
it feels
think
a little stitched in.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, I also got the feeling that was just kind of starting to happen.
Yeah.
And it's, in fact, like, as we see in the end, Banner runs away from it. He doesn't want to get too close.
No, because he's afraid.
Yeah. There's a lot of undertones of, like, fear and the consequences of that.
And then someone said, like, she has her like, main hang-up is that she had, a hysterectomy, basically. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, I guess, but, like, think about it this way. Like, I'm not a woman, but I was like, if you had that happen to you at a young age, that would fuck you up.
Well, I mean, if it was something
if I thought if I was castrated,
exactly,
that would fuck me up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
That's taking away your manhood. It's taking away your womanhood.
That's the way I thought of it, too, actually. I thought that's the same thing.
That's like
I was like, if I were castrated, that would be a big deal to me. Like, that would be something that would definitely affect my,
I mean, that's like the thing that women have that man can't have is they can have kids.
Yeah.
They can create life. You know what I mean? Like, and she can't do that now. That was taken away from her.
Yeah, and I don't think it was. I don't think it was like a. I'll never have a. You know.
Oh, I mean, you think about what you take people to their worst point. Scarlet Witch, and I feel like the worst point for her probably was being like put through this horrible assassin school at a young age, and then like basically like strapped to a bed and had surgery on her. That's pretty fucked up.
And to be honest, I thought that the line that she said that kind of caught me off guard a bit, where she said like, I can't have kids, and then like I'm a monster too. I think people were kind of, I don't know if that was written very well, or I think people were saying like, oh, she thinks she's a monster because she doesn't have a uterus or whatever. But
I could tell you a lot of women that have had that happen to them have similar feelings.
But I don't even think that's what they were trying to do. I thought, when I thought about it more, I think what she was saying was, because she goes on to say, like, that's a distraction from, doing what they trained me to do, which was murder and kill without thought and stuff like that. And I think when she was referring to I'm a monster too, I don't think she was referring to the lack of a reproductive thing. I think she was talking about, like, everything about me was designed. Yes, everything about me was designed to end other humans' lives, and psychologically and physically and everything.
Well, and of course, at that point in the movie, she has Hawkeye's fucking beautiful family shoved in her face that she can never have.
Also, that's part of it too,
I can never have normalcy in my life. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I can't have kids.
I think that's more of it.
I can't have a husband. I only know how to kill, and that's fucked up. And the only issue that I have, and the reason why I can somewhat see where people are coming from, is they didn't go deep enough into that plot, which I thought was really interesting. And they could have had more with her, dealing with that. But the movie wasn't about her.
No.
They should have a movie about her.
I agree.
She was in Lucy, and that movie did really well.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like a great movie, but it did well in the box office, and she was an action hero in that.
Yeah.
She's badass. I think she could carry a movie by herself, and maybe they'll do it.
The other thing is, like, while she's not the most powerful person on the team, I think she's also a really interesting character. Yeah. You haven't seen Winter Soldier, but there's a little bit of her, kind of stuff in there too, where I would like to see like the origin story. I like to see like all the shit that she went through. I'd like to see how she stopped becoming an assassin and all this stuff. It's a really interesting story they've got for her. I'd like to see that fleshed out.
But you've so that was a good movie. It was fun.
It was a 5 for me. I maybe they could have done some more stuff to like tie it in more.
Couple issues. But Ultron goes back to the exact same place he was from, and they don't find him immediately.
Yeah,
that bothered me. where his like evil plan is like, all right, I'm gonna go back to the exact place where they fucking fought me the first time.
Yeah, I thought about that too.
I was like, why wouldn't they look there first? Like,
well, it's one of those things where it wasn't where they fought him. I don't think. But
it's where they
yeah.
It's where they saw all the weird shit.
The robot. I would have thought that Tony would have thought, where would he go that could produce robots?
Oh, this crazy robot lab?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That we just... But, yeah, I mean, there's going to be a couple weird stuff like that. But overall, I thought it was great. I liked Scarlet Witch quite a bit. And Quicksilver. I thought they were pretty good additions.
I thought the stuff with Quicksilver was really cool.
Yeah, totally.
Having him die was pretty awesome.
It was pretty awesome.
He's probably not dead, but...
they've said he's dead.
Oh, did they? Okay, because they kind of, like, hinted at being able to bring people back to life and stuff and patch people up.
Well, they might be able... I mean...
You know what I mean? Like,
it's a comic book universe, so they might end up bringing him back with, like, the Time Gem or some other weird fucking bizarreness, but... I don't think that...
Or maybe that's the source of Scarlet Witch's...
Well, Scarlet Witch, she was way depowered for this.
Yeah.
In that, in the comics and stuff, she had, like, reality probability changing powers, and I think in the past she's actually done stuff like changing reality to bring people back and stuff
I could see that being a plotline for her. I could bring my brother back, but everyone's like, you can't do that because it'll fuck everything up.
Right.
What if you brought him back and then that... had destroyed the Earth. Mm-hmm. We can't take that risk, and that can make her bad. Basically,
I mean, also, you can think that maybe they've been recently. I mean, in this timeline, they've been recently created from You know, Hydra's experiments with the mind gem or whatever.
Yeah.
So she may not even understand
The computer AI gem.
Yeah.
That was a bit weird, too.
The mind gem, I guess. It's the one that like mind controls people and
Yeah.
does stuff like that. So
I liked Ultron as the villain. He was pretty cool.
yeah.
I like that they were able to use the Disney song in it.
Yes, I thought that was
That was kind of cool. It's like, oh yeah, you can use got the Pinocchio license.
And man, James Spader, what a
He was great.
good call.
What
there.
a good villain.
Yeah.
My mom watched it and she said the whole time she was like, I know that voice from somewhere. I was like, yeah, it's James Spader.
Yep.
He's great. That was really fun. I loved it.
I did too. I thought it was really good. I'm actually probably gonna see it again.
That's probably my third favorite of them, maybe fourth.
Yeah.
I think Guardians is
my top.
Guardians and Avengers are a bad, like 99.99 Guardians, 99.98 Avengers. Like,
yeah.
so close. Maybe if I watched Avengers again more recently, I'd like it even more. But and then I really like Iron Man,
Yes.
the first one.
Yes.
And then probably this. So that, it's
My list
great.
is pretty.
Great film.
My list is pretty similar. I probably put Guardians at the top, followed by probably. I think this. I watched the other Avengers yesterday.
Yeah.
I think I put them about the same. I'm gonna watch
Okay.
Age of Ultron again.
Yeah.
To kind of maybe see if I can solidify, because the first time for me too. A lot of times I see it for the first time. I'm a little.
Yeah, I've seen Avengers I think 3 times.
Yeah, it holds up.
It does, for sure.
I put them probably about the same. And then I also like first Iron Man, which I actually just watched tonight, right before our podcast. Yeah. And then maybe Winter Soldier maybe is probably right below that. Thor, the first Thor is really good too.
Well, I think my least favorite of the Marvel movies is probably
The Incredible Hulk.
That doesn't count because
that's part of the MCU.
But
The
it's
Incredible
a different
Hulk is.
Bruce Banner.
It is, but it's still
Okay.
still part of the MCU.
That one's probably the worst then, if you want to count that. I'm not going to count it and say that the worst is.
I will say this: General
Captain
Theodore,
America is the
Theodore or Thaddeus, whatever Thunderbolt is going to be in Civil War. So.
Okay, fair enough. But I would say for sure the worst was Captain America. I didn't like. I really liked the start of Captain America.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But the ending just was like, whoa.
So
like,
weird and bizarre.
It got way crazy. And the villain was not well done.
He'll probably be back. I don't know if it'll be...
Red Skull in that movie was very... He suffered the weird villain, like, that's super incompetent, you know? It was like...
Yeah.
Like I talked about this before, but like he only kills his own people all the time. He's like, oh, you failed me, kill all those guys. It's like, well, what? Blow up a city or something. Show me that you're evil here. Like, I mean, you tortured that Jewish guy at the start, but that's about it. Like, I don't know. He just didn't seem badass and villainous enough for me. They just kind of made you just think he was bad.
Yeah.
And of course, they were all fucking Nazi adjacent.
Yeah.
Which I kind of wish they would have leaned a little bit more into that. I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah.
But come on. Like, they're Nazis. That's part of the cool part about it.
Yeah. Winter Soldier deals a lot with Hydra, so you should definitely see that.
You know what fucking movie's great?
What?
Fucking Hellboy and Hellboy 2.
Yeah.
Those
Hellboy
movies
2
are so
especially.
good.
But yeah, they're both great.
Oh, I wish they could have more of that. I love those comics.
Well, Ron Perlman doesn't want to put all that makeup on anymore.
No, that's fine. You know, we got 2 great movies that were fun to watch, so.
Yeah.
Hellboy is one of my favorites as well.
That's a good
Like,
one.
not liking comic books, Hellboy.
Hellboy's Marvel too, isn't he?
No.
No?
Hellboy's independent. It's like Image. I don't even know.
Oh, no, they bought Image, didn't they? Or
I
is
have no clue.
that DC?
I'm looking up Hellboy rights. Here's the clickety-clack keyboard.
It might be DC. I think somebody bought Image, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
Let's see who owns Hellboy at this point. It's Dark Horse Comics, actually.
Of course. That's DC.
Which is DC, yeah.
Yeah.
So we could see him at DC, maybe?
Yeah.
He's such a badass character, though.
He's a pretty cool character.
Like him a lot.
This is Constantine, which unfortunately is not going to be on NBC anymore. It's not necessarily dead.
Yeah.
It's not going to be on NBC anymore. They're talking about shipping it to somebody else.
Yeah.
I hope they do.
I love me some Hellboy.
Yep.
Anyway, that's it, really, I guess. So it's... Is there Hellboy 3 any thought of? I don't know.
I don't think so.
Oh. Anyway, yeah. Love Hellboy. Yeah.
Yep. You know what I can't wait for?
Yep.
Doctor Strange.
Who's playing Doctor Strange? Cumberbatch, right?
Benedict Cumberbatch.
That's pretty good casting.
It is pretty good casting.
And by pretty good, I mean the perfect person.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. So the Cumberbatch is getting strange.
Mm-hmm.
Doctor
And
Strange
actually,
is...
Martin Freeman has also been...
Really?
He's been cast in Civil War, so...
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Well, is there anything else you want to talk about before we put a cap on this pizza boy?
Not as far as this is concerned. Avengers stuff.
Let me see if there's anything else I want to talk about before we end the episode.
Oh, might want to mention the DBZ news or...
All right, let's do DBZ news, then I got one thing, and then we'll table everything for another week.
Cool.
Because fuck, we're getting on.
Yeah, we are.
I don't want another 2.5 hour episode.
No.
It's probably gonna happen, but
Yeah.
we'll try and get around it.
Yep.
I love long podcasts, though.
Yeah, me too.
That's just me.
Me too.
I like a good 2 hour, 2.5.
Yeah.
You can listen to it over 2 or 3 sittings.
Yeah.
I just consume podcasts like a vacuum, though, so more content is better for me.
I've been audiobooking it big time.
Black
Company. Yeah.
Black Company.
Good
All
shit.
right. Adam, tell me about Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball is coming back.
Is this a remake of the original Dragon Ball?
No, it's not.
Oh.
This is
I was
new
hoping to
Dragon
see
Ball.
Goku dick. There's
Sorry.
so much,
I guess.
so much child nudity in that original comic.
There is
original
a lot
one.
of nudity, yeah.
Well, a lot of penis.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yes.
it's Japanese.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Dragon Ball Super?
Dragon Ball Super.
Oh, so this is continuing Dragon Ball Z.
Yes, it's
Well, they'll call it
ignoring...
Dragon Ball. It's Dragon Ball Z gets a new series.
Well, not... It's all part of the same stuff. It's Dragon Ball.
But when I think
Super.
of Dragon Ball, I think of Dragon Ball. I think of young Goku.
Well, it's Dragon Ball Super. Like Dragon Ball Z, it's Dragon Ball Super.
Okay.
Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball
So
Super.
this is following the defeat of Majin Buu.
It is. And also, I think whatever movies they've made since then, like the weird God Mode one, and what's coming this summer, Revival F, which Frieza comes back again.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Not another Frieza.
Now he's got a gold form, I guess.
Jesus.
Yeah, I know, right? Still, despite all that, I'm actually pretty excited for this.
I mean, I love Dragon Ball. It was my childhood.
Exactly.
Right
Exactly.
there. Yeah, Dragon Ball Z is the reason we became friends.
One of the reasons, definitely. You saw a shirt I was wearing, wasn't
That's right. You wore a Goku shirt,
I did. I wore a Goku shirt.
and you were a sophomore, and I was a freshman. I was like, I like Dragon Ball Z too, and then we
Yeah.
talked about it.
Totally.
That's it.
And thus, our relationship was born.
And thus, a relationship to span over a decade was
Yeah.
born.
Indeed.
So yeah. So wait, is this a TV anime
It is.
that's like following the movie that's coming out?
Yes.
Okay.
As I understand it, that is what's happening.
They're gonna have some of the similar voices.
I believe they are getting...
I mean, you're gonna
original
get
voices.
you're gonna get Vegeta back because that guy just voice acts.
Yeah, that's all he does. He does Vegeta.
He does other stuff, but
No, I know.
but Vegeta, he's very good. And then the guy who does Goku, I think, also still does a lot of voice acting. So
Yeah.
you got the main characters back,
That is the idea.
and that'll be great. I mean, I loved it. So
Yeah, starting in July. New
All right.
episodes.
nice.
And hopefully they'll be able to be simulcast or streamed through my Crunchyroll or Funimation. or something.
I would assume they get a lot of
Yeah.
this stuff.
I would think so. So, looking forward to that.
Yeah. New season of Louis
I have not seen
started.
A single
I
thing.
purchased it, so
Yeah. Cool.
yeah. I was like, oh shit, there's already 5 episodes out. I was like,
Wow.
fuck. I know. I didn't even know.
Yeah, I still need to catch up on Mad Men a bit too.
Oh.
And I haven't watched any more Game of Thrones since we talked about.
We will talk about Mad Men when it ends, and we will
Yeah.
talk about Game of Thrones when it ends. So you haven't been watching it?
No,
Really?
I need to. I've just been busy watching other stuff.
It's getting...
But yeah,
It's moving down a weird path.
Mad Men.
No.
Oh,
Game of Thrones. Yeah. Yeah, my mom was talking about it. She was like, I can't really follow this anymore. And I was like, I know. It's moving away from the books in a lot of ways, and it's really getting to the point where it's like, I really don't like... It was like the show I wanted to watch every week.
Yeah,
And it's kind of like, I'm gonna watch it.
yeah.
But it's just like...
I gotta say, like for this
silent
season
rage is
and the
building.
last season,
Yeah.
I've been really, ambivalent about whether
It's
I
just like...
watch it or win.
It's like, I don't know. It's like seeing like a Cliff Notes version of your favorite thing.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's like, it's so not as deep.
yeah.
Yeah. It kind of sucks, too, because they have the time to pad it out, but they didn't. That probably would have lost viewers, too, if they did the shit from the books, so.
Yeah, probably.
It's way too much shit. Let's see here. I got one last thing I want to talk about.
Okay.
Let's talk about Man Kitchen.
Okay.
It's a friend of the show.
Yeah.
Jordan has a YouTube channel called Man Kitchen. I don't think I've mentioned it on the podcast.
Not yet, I don't think.
I got to have watched all of them, and I love that show.
I've watched a couple.
It's really funny, and he's gonna. I realized why Jordan and I became friends when we were in college watching it. I was like, this guy is really funny, and this is dumb, but in a fun way that I love. You know, just I don't know, I love it. And there's a lot of good stuff on there for cooking.
Yeah.
Adam's a bitch.
Yep.
We had a Twitter fight over that.
I wouldn't call it a Twitter fight.
Well, Adam, you're always complaining about how you need to cook more.
Yeah.
And then I suggest things, and you're like, too much effort.
I'm just telling you why I don't do it.
Well, you can't complain about it if you're
Sure I
not
can.
willing to do anything.
I totally can complain about it.
It's ridiculous.
Because I want to. I want to do it. I just
But
wish
you're
it
not.
wasn't-
You don't, because you put all these roadblocks in front of yourself.
I'm not putting the roadblocks are there. I'm not putting them there. They're there.
Like, I was just like, you should get a rice cooker. They're amazing. You're like, "Pff, extra equipment.
Well, I'm saying that's a roadblock. I need to be able to have money to pay for that.
It's not much money.
I don't know
I
how
got
much
a
they are.
fancy-ass rice cooker for $50.
50. Man, that's...
Well, it's stupid fancy. You could get a $20 one that would be perfect.
Yeah.
No, I just say that because it really reduces the effort.
Yeah, the
Because
one
in
I
one of
watched...
the Man Kitchen videos that he sent, the
Yeah.
rice is not the easiest thing to cook.
I'm going to say, I did watch... The one I watched was one where he was cooking rice, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do
No,
that.
rice is not easy because if you get the water
Yeah.
ratio or you leave it too long or you don't stir it enough, it gets mushy or that. The rice cooker, you put rice in, water, not rice in. You put rice into the machine.
Yeah.
And the water, and then you hit a button, and then 40 minutes later you have perfectly cooked rice.
That sounds
every
easy.
fucking time.
That's my
It
kind
is
of cooking.
Not even a joke. And you can make delicious rice in there by doing the things that I do, which you could do easily, and that is just putting in some salt and pepper and some, like, chicken seasoning, like chicken stock or something. Like, you just buy a fucking jar of goop that's just chicken goop, and you just put a couple tablespoons in there, stir it up, and you have chicken-flavored rice that's delicious.
Well, that sounds pretty good.
Easily. I love that. I love my rice cooker. One of the best purchases I've made. I'm going to go on a cook adventure this week. I'm cooking a chicken. I'm gonna cook a whole chicken.
Okay.
I bought a roasting pan
Yeah.
for my chicken. I think I might brine it. I'm going to try and brine it, I think. It'll be interesting. We'll see.
Sounds
see
like
how
you're
she
putting in
works.
salt water. That's what
Correct.
Okay.
You soak it in salt water for like 12 hours.
Okay.
And so that the meat is like seasoned through, basically.
Sure.
And then I'm going to stuff it with stuffing, and I have chicken and stuffing and potatoes. It'll be amazing.
That sounds good.
Chicken's easy to make, Adam. Roasting a chicken is Adam doable.
Listen, okay, so this is the thing.
I'm just going to say this.
Chicken is probably the easiest to make, but isn't it also the most dangerous to make?
No.
As far as like food poisoning goes?
No, food poisoning is not a thing.
It's a thing.
It doesn't happen when you
Don't
cook
tell
it
me it's
right.
not a thing. I know it's a thing.
All right. With chicken, I've cooked chicken and I've never gotten food poisoning. I cook a lot of chicken. But here's the thing. You want to cook a whole bird, it's the easiest thing in the world. You get a fucking whole chicken, you pat it down with paper towels so it's dry, you slather butter all over the inside and outside, sprinkle a bunch of salt on the outside so the skin gets crispy because the salt will like pull the moisture
Dry.
away so so you get a nice like crust. And then you throw it in the oven for an hour. Like it's done.
An hour?
Yeah.
That's all it takes?
Oh, a small bird, like a rotisserie chicken or a little bit bigger. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean it's easy, and you just need a roasting pan, which is you either buy one or you just get a rack and put it in a pan, because you just don't want the bird sitting in its juices. It's got to like drip down, or else you'll have really like soggy and it'll be gross. That's it's like the easiest thing, and then I'm gonna stuff it, and I bought some kitchen twine to. You don't even need to tie it up. You literally could just throw it in the oven and it'll be fine. But that's an easy cook. Like, whole chicken, easy. It seems like it would be difficult, but it's like literally you just season it and throw it in for, an hour. Well, it's not an hour. It depends. You'll have to test it, if you don't want to get food poisoning. But that's easy. You just poke it. You poke the chicken, and if the juice that comes out is clear and not pink, then it's cooked.
Okay.
It's real easy. I don't know. Anyway, I got a roasting pan, and I put it in my oven. I realized it's too large. That's an issue.
Yeah.
It was $20 at Target, and it's humongous. I thought it was smaller than it is. So I could cook like a whole turkey in it,
Yeah.
which is too much, and it doesn't fit. I don't know if I can put it in the bottom rack of the oven. I'm worried. If I put it in the bottom rack, it'll get too much heat on the bottom. But then again, it's sitting above that, but I don't want it to cook. I want it to cook evenly. I think I can cook it without the top of the... It's the top of the roaster is too tall. But I think I can just put foil over the top of it and it'll be fine. That's what I've read you can do. So that would fit. Anyway, that's my thoughts. That's my cookings.
Yeah.
We are going to watch Man Kitchen on YouTube. It's great. It's fun.
Yeah.
He had his mom on the most recent episode, making a taco pasta bake that looked really good. I'm going to have to try. Cool. So check him out. Friend of the show.
Yep.
Some good cooking advice.
Yeah.
And funny too, actually. Really funny. I love the texts that come up.
Yeah.
Real good. I really laugh every time, like legitimately. So love it. All right, we'll talk wrestling after the break.
Yeah.
Hey, it's wrestling time. That's my new intro, Adam.
Okay.
How you like the wrestling intro?
It's great.
It's good? Mm-hmm. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Thumbs
Would
up.
you give that a 5-star match?
I give it a 3, maybe.
3? Yeah, you're right. It was serviceable.
It was serviceable.
We'll try another one next week. All right. So, Adam, what's happened in the week of wrestling that's going on?
Oh, man.
There's quite a few things that have happened.
Yeah.
So did you watch Monday Night Raw?
I did.
It's a good Raw.
It was.
Yeah, it was like probably one of the best ones in a long time.
Yeah.
They had a lot of stuff going on. Mm-hmm. We had the New Day fought like actual upper card people.
Yeah.
They had to fight Roman Reigns and Randy Orton, right? Right at the start of the show. That was kind of cool.
Yep.
And the New Day was hilarious the
They
entire
were.
night in the backstage, doing their weird New Day stuff, which is really funny. And they are basically Bo Dallas' gimmick at this point, which is kind of sad.
Yeah.
For Bo Dallas, but
I'd like to see him go up against them.
yeah, I know, right? I think they might do that.
That'd be cool.
There's some SmackDown had some teases of a Wyatt family reunion.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I like that. But Adam,
Yeah.
you're one of your top 5 wrestlers. Your top 10.
Yeah.
Your main man,
Yeah.
Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
He's going to be in a fatal 4-way for the title
Fuck yeah, he
at
is.
Payback.
I'm
You got
excited.
the entirety of Shield
Yeah.
and Randy Orton.
Right.
So what's going to happen?
It'd be too much to ask for Ambrose to get the title, I think. But
So there's a couple options we have here.
yeah.
Before we get to NXT stuff, let's talk about the main roster.
Yeah, totally.
A couple options we have here. I could see the authority. So they're kind of twisting some authority stuff in here with Seth Rollins.
Yep.
There's a thought maybe that they're going to do a storyline that this authority is not happy with Seth Rollins. And
There's not really much reason for them to think that at this point, though.
well, Kane despises Seth Rollins.
Kane does, but I mean, I don't know.
But the thought is maybe he's going to interfere in the match and appoint a new face of the company authority champion.
I feel like, though, if that was the case, that should have happened when they had their cage match. Like, because already they were building up.
Well,
the
they were
Kane
building up to it
hates.
though. At that point,
I
he
don't
did
know.
the right thing, but only just.
Yeah.
And he might not have the fortitude to do it a second time.
Well, he certainly shat all over him the entire Raw episode. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, I'm liking it.
Yeah,
They're
I am
getting-
too.
They're getting Kane involved in a better way.
Yeah.
Which I like. So I don't know. They could do some twisted shit though.
Yeah.
Like if they're worried, if they think that what they want to do is do The Rock, is they could make Roman Reigns the authority champion.
Yeah, but
That is literally exactly what they did with Rocky Maivia.
yeah.
Was the crowd hated him, and they made him the corporate champ, and he told everyone to shut up, know their role. It was really good. And then when he turned on the authority, it was just epic.
I think it's kind of a hard sell for Roman Reigns at this point, though, because he's always kind of been anti-authority.
I could see. Well, he's never really been 100% anti-authority, though.
That's true, but I don't know.
I think that he's too much of a babyface for that to happen. That's speculation,
Yeah.
and I think that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
Having seen the incredibly good, if you want to like Roman Reigns some more, watch the WWE Network 24 special on him and his WrestleMania trip,
Oh yeah.
showing him as like a kid growing up with the Usos and like. It's really good. I recommend you to watch that. You'll really like it. And it's as all of the WWE documentaries, they're all so well done,
They really are.
and it's great.
Yeah.
And
I've been meaning to watch the Ultimate Warrior one, but I haven't gotten around to it yet.
yeah, they're all good. They all do a great job. Let's see here. Could be. They could do it with Orton as well. He is not a babyface.
No.
He just doesn't work. He's too evil looking. You know?
I don't know. I feel like it's kind of a bad idea to take it away from Seth so fast, though.
Well, to be fair, Seth will have lasted longer than quite a few wrestlers, though, if he makes it this far. If he makes it to Payback, he's been WWE champion longer than Mick Foley ever was. You know?
Well, yeah.
It's possible.
But
I don't know
not
if
the same
they
type
do.
of wrestler as Mick Foley either, though.
But I feel like they may do a thing where they want Reigns to get the belt, maybe.
I think it's early for that.
Well, I think they
want it
want
to be a big thing when he gets it. I don't know. If
Well, I
Payback's-
think they might have Reigns get the belt to possibly lose it to Brock Lesnar
at
SummerSlam.
SummerSlam.
and have a rematch,
Yeah, that could be interesting.
and then possibly have him lose it due to Seth Rollins interfering,
Yeah.
and then have a real good feud between those two, which I think would be really good.
Yeah.
Or Ambrose. Maybe Ambrose is the authority figure.
I don't see him as an authority figure. But
I like the idea.
just
this
like
is
a
not-
crazy.
Exactly. This
Yeah.
is my booking love that would be for him to win the title. And then it makes a story for Roman Reigns, because he'll be the last member of the Shield to win the title then.
Oh yeah,
Which is interesting. It's a good babyface but babyface storyline of,
Yeah.
these guys got it before me and I deserved it, and I got screwed out twice, basically. which is good. But he might just be like, hey, he's a loose cannon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which I kind of like the idea of.
Yeah.
Of him just being a loose cannon heel.
I really like that, yeah.
Where he's just like, I'm with the Authority because they got me the title shot. I'm not going to do what they say. I don't know. I kind of like that idea. I don't know what they're going to do. And that's one of the beauties of wrestling right now. Is that they're doing a really good job of not doing the opposite of what they did during the WrestleMania run-up.
Yeah. I kind of feel like they put him in there for a reason. I don't know if it's to win or not, but that would be pretty amazing if they're like,
They could set up a feud with him and Reigns. They could set up a feud with him and Orton that would be really good.
Just like them having him as the champion and them not knowing what to fucking do with him now that he's the face of WWE.
Well,
they gotta find some way to scheme against him or something.
I think that the thought is that they want to do a triple threat for the title at SummerSlam is the thought.
Yeah.
Which will be Orton, Rollins, and Lesnar. Mm-hmm. And I think that they want that, and I think they don't want this to also be a triple threat,
Yeah.
And so they might have a feud with Ambrose and Reigns. Mm-hmm. Who knows? Or Kane and Reigns. Who fucking knows? We'll see. It's that's the beauty though. We don't know what's going to happen, which is kind of nice. You know what I mean? Keeping us guessing, which makes it interesting when things do happen.
Yeah.
Because the great parts of wrestling are when, like with what happened with Daniel Bryan, when a storyline just builds and goes to completion, and you know it's going to happen, but when it does, you're just so happy and it's great. Or like this year at WrestleMania, when you don't know what's going to happen and Rollins wins the title out of nowhere, shocking everyone. That was an incredible way to do it, too. This is the two ways to make a great story in wrestling, is have a really good, shocking swerve, but not too crazy, because swerves can be really annoying and bad, but that one was well done. Or you can have, incredible story well told that has an ending. And that is to segue. Well, do we have anything else about Raw to talk about? Oh shit! Yeah, we got to talk about one more thing in Raw.
Definitely.
So it's kind of weird. What's this? I have no clue what's happening with this, and I love it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what's happening for NXT.
Yeah, I know, right?
Takeover, because
maybe just because it was Montreal.
Sami Zayn was on Raw, answered the call. The John Cena fucking open challenge, which has been fucking amazing.
Yeah.
It has been one of the best things in wrestling, because every week you don't know who it's going to be, and it's always a good match, because John Cena is always good at he's like the perfect opposite. If you're a really good wrestler, he's going to have a really good match with you. If you're a bad wrestler, he can't make it a great match by himself, but you put him with someone amazing, and it's an amazing match. He rises to your talent level. You know what I mean? And his match with Sami Zayn was a great match.
Oh, it was, yeah.
One of the better matches in the year. Totally put Sami Zayn over, big time.
Yep.
While still having John Cena win. It took 2 attitude adjustments to take Sami Zayn down.
Yeah, I know, right?
That
and
was
he was
perfect.
Injured.
He was injured. They had the injury angle.
Yeah.
Which the jury is out on whether or not it's real.
I doubt it.
What do you mean?
I doubt it's a real injury.
I know. So they were selling it big time.
They were. It was
as being real.
Yeah.
And if you look at the way the NXT story has been, where Riley said he's going to get a shot if Sami Zayn can't do it, Alex Riley. But then he had that NXT this week. He kind of had that segment where he was like, I'm done with the WWE Universe for a little while.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
I liked it. I liked the passive aggressiveness of it. People like to shit on that guy, but I like him.
Yeah.
I kind of like him. He's shown a little teeth there that I kind of liked. He had a really terrible thing happen to him on Twitter this week.
Oh, really?
Did you see? Somebody had like a push rage sign on Raw.
Yeah.
And he tweeted a photo out of it, and he said, I love my fans. You guys really just made my day. And then the guy responded to it that had the sign. He said, oh, that wasn't for you. Heartbreaking. Like, he thought he had this beautiful gesture that some fan put a sign, putting him over, as a fan in the front row. And he was just like, no, that's an in-joke between me and my friend. And fuck you. I mean, fans that do that shit I hate.
Yeah.
Fans that try and put themselves over by making signs about themselves or blowing up giant faces of themselves. It's kind of gross.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're there for the wrestlers. Promote the wrestlers. Put signs up that are, funny and weird, but about wrestlers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's kind of bullshit that happened. And that guy, and let's think about it this way. By responding and saying that wasn't for you, does nothing but hurt him.
I know, right?
It accomplishes nothing because your friend got the in-joke or whatever, but by you responding like, oh yeah, that wasn't for you, is the dickish move that I can't imagine anyone would do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he had this moment that he was happy. He took that away from him for no reason.
I know.
No one would have known or cared. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Otherwise. It's like, come on, guy. Like, have some human decency here. You know what I mean? Anyway.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's signs for Riley at NXT and stuff.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, definitely.
I don't know. I like his persona. I think it's good. Obviously, the company hasn't a lot invested in him, so they're going to keep something going. And maybe that's what's going to happen here. Maybe he's going to turn heel,
Maybe.
All right,
so
Sami Zayn possibly injured. He played. They kind of wrestled the match as an injury.
Yeah.
But they sold it really well as an injury.
Yeah, they certainly did.
But Sammy is probably the best person at doing that.
Yeah.
Like Ziggler and him are the two people.
Yeah.
They're the best at selling injuries in matches, which is what makes them both great baby faces. Mm-hmm. But he kind of looked like he injured himself in his entrance.
Oh, really? I didn't know
Yes, that's what they said. Is he injured himself during his entrance when he was jumping around and raising his hands up? He pulled his shoulder out of socket, actually.
Oh, shit.
And so I don't know if they were planning on doing an injury angle, but everything that has been on NXT TV has been kind of hinting at an injury angle with him a little bit with this match coming up. And then them to sell it so well on Raw. I mean, there are moments when you see the ref come over when he's on the ground, like, are you okay?
Yeah,
and he's holding his shoulder. And you're like, is this real or is this the best sell we've ever seen?
Yeah, I know.
And you can't put it past WWE to do that because they haven't really come out with a lot of information. They've been very silent about it.
Yeah.
So they haven't changed the match. They haven't changed anything. We have another NXT taping that still has to air, so we don't know where the storyline's going with that. Mm-hmm. NXT this week was incredible again.
Yeah, yeah.
Just always amazing. The women's match was great.
Yes.
I really liked the stuff with Becky Lynch.
Yep.
Give me a little background. I was like, man, I
Yeah.
hated her when she came out. Yeah. She was just like, I'm just this Irish girl doing this Irish jig, and it was gross. And then you just see her, and like, she's been wrestling for a long time on the indies. Like, there's that photo with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens smiling. She's in the photo.
I know.
She was touring with them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And you see this, and you're like, man, she's got some chops. I like her. I really like her as a babyface, actually, and they're kind of doing some really cool stuff there. And she's going to lose to Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
Because Sasha Banks, they had their contract signing, which was amazing. It was so good.
It was good.
NXT does good contract signings because Becky Lynch hands her the pen and she slaps it away. She's got her motherfucking stamp.
Yeah.
I'm going to stamp my name on this. I'm not touching your dirty pen. Oh, Sasha Banks is great. They're doing some cool stuff with Bayley and Emma. I like Dark Emma a lot. I kind of wish she would have gotten the win there. That was weird.
Yeah, I thought that was weird too, actually.
To have Charlotte win, like, how does that help Charlotte? Like, they could have just had it as a weird match where she took her off guard, and beat her somehow.
They were really working the knee angle there, and I thought they were probably going to use that as an excuse to have her
Usually when you work an injury like that in a match, you use the excuse that the babyface loses.
Yeah.
But that's not what happened. But that's one of the great things about NXT. It subverts your expectations all the time.
Yeah.
It's never 100% exactly what you think, and that's kind of what makes it really good.
And Bayley coming up afterwards and just like,
fucking the hug?
Yeah.
Into the hugplex?
Yes.
That was really good. The Bayley to belly.
Yep.
I loved it.
Me too.
And I really kind of like the stuff they're doing with Emma, and I hope that they can find a good character for her because she is a really, really good talent. And apparently everyone loves her backstage, so it's like
Yeah.
Got to find something for her because we don't have a lot of women that people like.
Yeah.
It's a thin roster, and when you got someone who's that talented, you got to find something for him.
Yeah, totally.
Let's see here. So what else happened? Tommy Breeze is the main event.
Tommy Breeze?
Hideo Itami.
Oh, yeah.
And Breeze again. They're
Tyler Breeze.
triple threat kind of number one contender tease. They're going to have a triple threat. That'll be really good, I think.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. I think
I like the matches between Hideo and Tyler Breeze.
they work good together. I think they found that out. They're like, these
Yeah.
guys can put a good match together. And they kind of had, they had Itami win, but Breeze laid out both guys with his finishers, and I love Breeze. He's great.
Yeah.
Let's see what else is awesome. You have to see.
They had a Rhino crush another.
Yeah, I mean, they're building up the Baron Corbin Rhino feud with squashes.
Yeah.
Fine, that's what they want to do. They're doing it. Rhino's great.
Rhino is great. I've grown on Rhino.
You can see why he's good because he just is kind of like how Brock Lesnar. He's just got this weird aura around him. He just looks scary and
he'll fuck you up.
Yeah, and he looks the part. I mean, when you look at that man, what animal does he look like? He looks like a fucking rhino.
He does.
He will run you over.
That's the thing, though. Like they've done this. They've tried to do it with like Baron Corbin too. I know Baron Corbin's a big guy, but like I don't know why, but I've never really bought him as the fucking end of days and.
Well, they haven't had him work a lot of matches that have been long. But maybe this will be a great match. You got two guys that are squashing each other all the time. And if they can put a good match together, it's like, okay, Corbin can run, Yeah. So we'll see. Had some really good stuff with Enzo and Cass.
Oh, my God.
With the heels, Buddy Murphy and, Wesley Blake.
Yeah.
Murphy and Blake. Doing the ultimate heel move of denying everyone a promo from those two.
Yeah.
Which was incredible. Because that's so heelish, because the crowd fucking hated not being able to see them.
Oh, totally.
And that's great. I liked it. They're kind of growing on me as a little bit of a tag team.
Yep.
I like their dubstep intro.
Yeah.
It's stupid, but in a good way. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because they're bad guys,
Yeah.
Which I like. What else was on NXT? Okay, we got to talk about probably the highlight of NXT was the fucking spectacular shit.
Yeah.
Like, let's talk about...
I were going to say, you're talking about the Kevin Owens promo,
the
right?
fucking spectacular dueling Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn promos.
Yeah, that was really good.
Kevin Owens is one of the best heels in the business right now.
Oh, yeah.
And
totally.
they're telling an incredible story. And Michael Cole, people hate on Michael Cole all you want.
Yeah.
He's incredible. Because the shit that the reaction, the play between him and Kevin Owens was awesome.
It was.
I mean, you just see that seething rage in Kevin Owens having to talk to him. And it's amazing, too, because... like, Kevin Owens does the heel thing at the end of, like, putting over Michael Cole as an announcer.
Yeah, I know.
It's just, like, so amazing. It's like everyone in the, like, internet wresting community hates Michael Cole.
Yeah.
And Kevin Owens is like, I respect you as a journalist. You're an incredible announcer, one of the best in the game.
Yeah.
He's, like, so good at being a heel. I mean, he just does everything right. And he is... And just the silent, the rage and the cracks starting to, show up in his story, where he's just like, I'm doing this for my family, all this stuff. And you just see that it's like, dude, you're like, you're pushing this, man.
Yeah.
And he's like saying like, well, was it for your family to hurt Sami Zayn unprovoked the way you did, and like all this stuff. And he's like, I don't have to listen to you, it's just perfect.
Yeah.
One of the best promos in a long time. And
totally.
I mean, Kevin Owens, people were like, I don't think he could ever work in the WWE, but, dude, it's just like, you give him a mic and screen time, and he fascinates.
Yeah.
He is like a scary villain.
Yeah.
Because he's not like the, I'm Kane, I'm bad guy, I'll beat you up. He's the, I'm a fucking, like, serial killer twister.
Yeah. He's like soft voice, just explain shit to you until he just fucking rips you apart.
I know, and you're just like,
Yeah.
it's gross and scary and good, you know? And then Sami Zayn had a great face promo where he's just like, pointing out all the flaws.
Yeah.
You know, and he's just like, you're seeing the Kevin Owens I know, you know what I mean? Like, he's turned on me in the past, and I know, you know, he says these things, but he's in it for himself, you know.
And I'm talking to you now, Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
If you want to be a good example for your son, maybe you should just be honest.
Oh, so good. Oh, it's such good. Oh, and that's why. And the talk was like Sami Zayn was going to get called up.
Yeah.
But they were like, we have to give Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens time together.
Yeah.
Because they are a great pairing. You know what I mean?
really
They're
are.
like, they're like the Macho Man, Randy Savage, Hulk Hogan of the Indies. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they just have this relationship where they were the, you know, superpowers, you know, or what was it, the Mega Powers, you know, together when they were a tag team, and then they broke up, and, you know, Sami Zayn's the Hulk Hogan, and Kevin Owens is the heel who just wants it all for himself, and it's great. And as you see during the Sami Zayn match, did you so I followed Kevin Owens on Twitter, and during the Sami Zayn Kevin Owens or Cena match, he was tweeting shit about how people that think Sami Zayn can win this match are idiots, blocking people and stuff, and just being like, "Go Cena, go!" Like it's like, oh, so good as a heel. Oh, I love it. I love it. We'll see. We'll see what they do with this injury. I think it'll be okay because I think it's an injury that he can wrestle with.
Yeah,
and they may just do this and then have him take some time. But it's also, the WWE was saying, like, this wasn't his roster call-up. Which is weird. I think it needs to be.
Yeah, how much heat he got from it, you would think they would want to keep pushing.
And it also needs to be because, I mean, the announcers put him over like crazy.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, this newcomer's taking Cena to the brink. You know, he's incredible. He did the Blue Thunder Bomb.
Yeah.
Fucking called it.
I was excited
they called
to see
it
that.
as the move that it was.
Yeah.
You know, they knew. They had that match planned out, and the announcers knew what was going to happen. So that there was a lot of care put into that match.
Yeah.
And
then
plus
Cena at the end, like, you know, throwing his hand up and walking out first.
And the other thing that they did was he did the Koji clutch, and then and Michael Cole called it, and it's just like, shit, man, they're calling moves here. Like they're selling this right, and I'm really looking forward to it because it's an incredible feud between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. But Sami Zayn, he can make waves, and it's funny too because like, you know, you don't think of him, you know, as a big guy, but you put him next to Cena, he's the same height as John Cena.
Yeah.
You know, like, he's not a little guy. He just only looks like that in NXT, just because the way that how intimate and small that setting looks.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he's fighting Kevin Owens, who's a little shorter than him but bigger, and he just doesn't look like a ripped big guy, but he kind of is.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I think that they will. I think that here's my thought. What's going to happen on NXT is Sami Zayn is going to lose the match.
Yeah.
And we're going to find out this match is a winner go home match.
Oh yeah.
Where he's like, if I can't get my title back, I need to move on because I'm not dealing with you, Kevin Owens. You know what I mean? You can have your shit here in NXT and watch it crumble around you. You know, as you're, you know, not making friends anywhere. And he gets called up because it just needs to happen.
Yeah.
Only problem is the main roster is really bereft of heels at this point as well.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there's so many baby faces right now. Although Sheamus did turn heel, so there is another heel.
Yeah.
And
there's Bad News Barrett.
Bad News Barrett's a good heel. Great heel. Always has been.
Wyatt's around.
Wyatt's...
He hasn't
Yeah,
shown
all
up
the
too
Wyatt
much.
family's there too. You're right. You know, Luke Harper can probably work a great match with Zayn.
Yeah.
They were in NXT together. So I don't know. It's all up in the air. I'm really looking forward to TakeOver. It's going to be great.
Yeah, totally.
All right. One last thing before we go. Adam Ham, did you watch the other documentary that came out this week?
No.
Look it up online and watch it. The ESPN documentary on NXT. You didn't see it?
What is it?
It's an ESPN E60 documentary on the NXT and Performance Center.
Oh, really?
It's incredible.
Is it on the network?
It's not on the network because it's ESPN. But if you just Google it online, There are a lot of places that have it hosted. I just watched some fucking news website had the whole thing in like a video player. I just watched it. It's incredible. Like, you get to see really deep behind the scenes on how NXT works. And you see just like meetings where like Triple H and then like Michael Cole and Dusty Rhodes and all these people are like talking about all the NXT people.
Awesome.
And they're like planning out matches, they're planning out stuff. So the main characters in this are, you see everybody around backstage. You know, it's interesting. But the main focus is on Xavier Woods, because this was shot a couple years ago. Yeah. This was like 2013, like after the Performance Center kind of opened. So they kind of shot it pretty early on, where all the SHIELD people are still down there and stuff too. So it's Xavier Woods. And his kind of call up and his backstory, and I already like the guy, but you'll like him even more. He's getting his PhD. He hopes to have it by next year.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's a real smart guy, and you hear them talk about them. They're like, we don't know exactly what he's got and where he's going, but this is a great guy.
Yeah.
We got to keep him around. There is, and then there's also Corey Graves, his story.
Okay. Yeah.
Which has the sad parts.
He's now like announcing, right?
Correct, but he kind of goes through his rise and how great he was, and how they wanted to really put a rocket on him and push him. Yeah, and his injuries. He had multiple concussions, and then him getting the news that he's no longer allowed to perform for the WWE. They medically won't allow him wrestle anymore just because of the risks. Just devastating, and his family's there, and it's just like, I can't fight, and you see the Kevin Owens, I'm fighting for my family, and you see these guys and their families, like Corey Graves and his wife and 3 kids.
That sounds
great.
Like, I'm surprised they let them do it, but it sounds awesome.
I can't provide for my kids now, and then it has the beautiful ending of them giving him a 2-year announcer contract, of which he has been incredible.
Yeah, totally.
He is a great announcer.
He is.
He is awesome. So that was a great call. And they talk about him. They're like, you got this guy's great. We have to hold on to him. We got to figure something out for him to do. And then the third person, Adam Ham, that you will now cheer for, is Adam Rose.
I always liked Adam Rose.
You hear his backstory.
I know you didn't like him, but
I didn't dislike him. I never disliked Adam Rose. I just thought the gimmick was weird. Check this out. Adam Rose, his backstory is incredible. He was homeless as a child.
Oh my god!
And he lived in South Africa, and his only dream was to become a wrestler, and he wrestled the independent circuit down there. And he got his break when they did a tour through there, and they're like, hey, you should come to our developmental. And he was old. He was 34 or something when they did that, 33. But they took a chance on him, and they're talking about backstage, and you listen to that guy talk, and he is a nice guy. Yeah. He is really smart, really good. He does not have that accent at all when he's a regular person. Really? That's a put on. Oh yeah. Huh. Yeah. I thought he was English. He's South African, actually, originally. And they talk about Leo Kruger, his original character, and how it just wasn't working, and how they came up with Adam Rose. And you see the reaction that NXT gave him and how incredibly awesome it was. And they NXT loved Adam Rose because he came out and it was fun. Yeah. He has all the crazy people around. I love Adam Rose too, and I think it can work. And I think they need to push it more. But you see his story, and it is heart-wrenching. His child that he had was born with a birth defect. I mean, this is just this guy. I love this guy now. You know what I mean? You humanize this guy, and you just see him working through it. And he's like, "This is my chance. This is my only shot. I'm 35. This has to work." Yeah. And they called him up, and he's been working, but they haven't really found a perfect mix for him. I don't know. It's just incredible. You just see that guy, and he's the nicest guy in the world. Yeah. And I love it. And you have to watch the documentary. It's incredible. You just see real deep look into how it works. Yeah. You got Triple H giving lectures to everyone, and see Emma and Summer Rae and Becky Lynch all sitting in the front row together, and Charlotte there, and I don't know. It's, you see the gorilla position, and it's all behind the scenes, and it's great. And it's awesome.
Wow, sounds cool. Yeah.
You have to watch it. It's a must-watch if you're a wrestling fan, especially if you love NXT. And I'm really looking forward to it. NXT continues to be amazing. Better than the main roster every time.
Yeah, I think so too.
No question. Yeah. Anyway, well, I don't think I have anything else. Unless you wanted to talk about anything else wrestling or related.
No, I think that pretty much covers it.
Awesome. We'll have our wrestling rankings when it becomes June.
Yep.
We'll see where everyone lies.
Yep.
See who's up, who's down, who's living life. We'll have another pay-per-view under our belts.
Yeah. Payback's going up soon.
And the NXT one, too, so we'll have some opinions there.
Absolutely.
All right. That's going to do it for this week. Thanks for listening. You can check us out on 80spodcast.com.
Indeed.
All right. Well, I will end the episode.
Cool.
Man, your mic is good.
Yeah.
You hear a lot of breathing, but
Well, yeah. That's a
we'll
side
deal
effect
with it.
of.
We'll
That's
deal
because I
with
breathe a lot. Heavily.
Breathing is underrated.
I like it.
You need it.
I think so.
It's a necessary evil. I guess I don't even know if I'd call it an evil.
Hopefully someday it won't be necessary.
Hopefully someday. All right, Hamlish. Marvin Hamlish.
Yep.
Born in the 80s, 170. Ready to go?
Yep.
All right.